Hello, 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 everyone. Everyone, I am Elsid932 on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us. We are here to wrap up and roast up some of the cast for Love is Blind Ohio. I am here with Trey. Trey, how are you? What did you think about this week? We only had 3 episodes, but they were feisty.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Sales glad to be back. All this weekend. Hope everyone is blessed on this Sunday. And you know what? I felt better about these episodes because it was less than a whole conglomerate drop of episodes at one time. So give me a nice little 3-4 pack so I can digest what's going on here. And so I rather enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty funny actually. There was some funny stuff happening.
Right,
I
it was
think
it was it was very funny. In the meantime, give me a moment, and y'all. I believe Easton is on his way. Okay, but let me say hello. Ari has been a member for 6 months, one of the original L citizens, I might ask, and is also throwing in some support. I'm gonna need you to close your eyes, Trey. I'm gonna need you to close your eyes because you know how we say thank you around here, and you don't like this one. Yes, drop it low, drop it
oh,
low. Yes,
Lord
thank you
have
for
mercy.
blessing the channel,
Oh,
Ari.
my eyes. Oh, my eyes. Ooh.
Hey,
Yeah, I
Sam.
got my shade
Good to
on.
see you. Hey, Adwa. Shayna is here with us. Michelle. Yes, everybody's here to go to Africa. Jackson, Tabasco. Munira. Everybody is here. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Yeah, that certainly liven it up a bit. Trey don't like the twerk thing, but with that kind of support, we got to twerk. We can't just shake the bosoms. We got to twerk. Okay. Um, we are here for
It's the
episode
Chewbacca. It gotta be Chewbacca.
whatever. Hey, Renee. It ain't got to be Chewbacca, as you know. Everybody knows Chewbacca has a wife, but everybody doesn't remember her. Okay. Okay. So everybody knows Chewbacca. So let's start it off. Let's start it off with some that we can cut through real quick. Oh, okay, let me Easton is here. Easton, we can't hear you. Can't hear you.
The East.
All right. I'm back. Can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, the
How we
Yes.
feeling?
What's up?
What's up, Trey? What's up, Sid?
Primed
How
and
we feeling?
ready.
That's,
Oh yeah, we got some good stuff today. Good
that's,
stuff to
that's,
talk about.
that's
Who
get
we
it.
starting off with?
Well, you're late for class, so you can't pick. So
Okay.
Trey, Trey, where would you like to start?
Well, I feel like you was gonna say let's go ahead and get a couple of the easy couple out of the way. And I think I know who he was about to go to. Let's start with Vic and Christine.
Vic
Perfect.
and Christine this week. They actually have a camera crew of their own. They're not filming themselves this week. Uh,
Now, are you sure? Are we sure? Are we positive about that?
we are
Because I don't know.
positive.
Yeah.
We are
I don't
positive
know.
because they met her mom and both of their hands were on each other. So they weren't
Mhm.
holding the camera. Okay.
Okay.
Mm.
Probably got a
But
cousin or something to do that.
Yeah, it
here's
could
my
be AI.
question though. Did Vic, in your synopsis, did Vic and Christine move in anywhere? Because it
Nope.
don't seem to me like they have moved in. We didn't see where they live. We've
Nope.
seen his lecture hall. He is a doctor and a professor. I will not call it a classroom. We did not see his, we saw his lecture hall, but we didn't see where they live in or how they live in. What's going on
Not
with
going
this
to.
Vic and Christine thing?
Not in the
Trey?
budget. Not in the budget is the answer that is being given. So, not in the budget. This is a weird one. This is a weird one. My first notes on episode 7, and this is the only thing that I wrote down. This is funny. They meet her mom. It all feels like a setup, but everything goes well. I literally had that in my notes. It all feels like a setup, but everything goes well. What I mean by that, yo, they are they are trying so hard to make this the picture perfect couple for the season that is nauseating. I'm like, even though there was some good stuff that they had on those 3 episodes, I like especially one particular part of it, the conversation they had in the park. I thought it was great. It was necessary. It was good. I was like, this is good right now. But it's just it felt served to me. You know, like it served to me and not on the same platter as the rest of the couples. So I'm trying to figure out why. If you're going to invest this much into this darling couple, why haven't you put the same resources that you put into the other couples behind this? What's going on here? What's really going on here? Questions. Just got questions.
It seems like they're handing us actual talking points for panels. Would you say that, Easton? What are your thoughts on Christine and Vic this week?
I think I have this huge conspiracy theory, and like I always start off the panels. These are my own thoughts and opinions. I have no sympathy for anybody who has decided to watch the show for 10 seasons and decides to hop onto the show, as well as any of the people who may be triggered by the events that happen on the show. So I put that out of the way. With Vic and Christine, I think that they weren't necessarily the original like darlings of the season, and they, with how the shakeup of who gets married, who doesn't, how it all pans out, I think that the casting crew needs somebody to thrust out there as in being our new poster child, since we haven't had too many seasons where there's a really iconic couple. And I don't think that Americans are really picking up on Adi and Ali and anything like that. And so now they need to find somebody to reel in the American fan base. Cam and Lauren, they no longer are really in the spotlight like that, and they kind of are reserved. Same with Brett and Tiffany, and all the other relationships are either getting divorced and stuff like that. So I think they're really trying to position Vic and Christine, but Vic specifically, I think he's just a really private person, and I also enjoy the fact that they're are believers and are trying to hold that true in the essence of this show being filmed and stuff like that, because we see so many people get intimate really, really early on, and or even move in together, and they say it seems like they made a concerted effort to not do that. So that's a change up, because most people are like, we are going to move in together, and we are going to be intimate in the honeymoon phase, or for them being in Cabo.
Now, Christine said something that was very interesting. She said a few things. But I'm going to tack on when I'm going to save a part of their conversation. But she said she doesn't take many people to her hometown, and taking him there, she doesn't think if she's good enough. And I found that interesting, because even though people come from small beginnings, it's also where they have, grown from there. And as we see with Vic, he is wide-eyed and excited because he's never had those experiences. This is his first time interacting with a horse. So do you think that, the way they're both coming at this, and probably how she was in the past with her relationships, do you think that could have kind of hindered her why she didn't get close to some people?
Well, first thing I thought about was Vic comes across as a well-accomplished man. So that could color her thought on, wow, am I even good enough to be in the situation with him? Play. And then number two, this the first thing I thought about was she was part of the reason she was a little afraid taking her back to her hometown. It's a small rural hometown, and we don't know the views of everybody in that town when it comes to their interracial relationship. Let's just go ahead and call it spade a spade. And I see the concern on her face. Like I don't know how you're actually going to be accepted here, because I know these people. There might be some mix up in them. So but I can just see the concern in her face, And a part of me was appreciative of her concern. Because it does seem like Alicia taking this seriously. Like, I think it's part of the reason to her own self. She doesn't even like going back there. If it wasn't for her mom being there, she probably wouldn't go back at all.
Easton?
I think it's an honest depiction of how life is, especially because, well, you see it all the time, or how it used to be is people leave from their small, maybe rural towns, and they go to the big city, or they go to school, and then they go, sometimes they come back home, but a lot of times they just stay there, and they kind of forget, or they might be a tad bit ashamed of their humble roots. And I'm not saying that it's necessarily her, but obviously it's a place of a lot of pain. When they got to talking about the father, that could be a triggering spot, especially because, one thing I think with examining Vic and how he perceives his relationship with his father, although it'd be somewhat similar between him and Christine, men just kind of process it differently, whereas it might be a far more sore spot for Christine and that home, and even just how her mother was treated. I think that there's a different level of care that needs to be kind of placed there with not having a father around. And so that might be a really, really sore spot of bringing of her going back there. It just rehashes those old wounds. And so I do appreciate her taking because she could have easily just said, hey, mom, come here, or we could try to pick you up, or we can go to one of these little restaurants and had the family meet up there. But she went back to the hometown, which I appreciate, because you don't get that all that often in Love is Blind, especially because everybody's like moved or transplants to that city. And so it's just, you see them in their apartment, or their family comes into town. And so that being said, I do want to give her some grace, because it's a lot more intimate than most people when they do their family reveal or anything like that, because it's actually her real hometown and her mom, and it comes with a sore spot attached to it.
True. That is true. Let me take a moment. Munira, thank you so much for gifting Tell 10 LCID memberships. Oh, 10 more L citizens. And we got to say thank you. We like to dance around here. I'm sorry, Trey, at that monetary value, we got to twerk. You got to close your eyes again. Yes, thank you. Thank you for supporting the channel.
This is my first time seeing.
It's too much, bro. It's too much. It's too much.
Is it too much? Is it too much, Easton? Is it too much?
Hey, as long as they keep bringing the subs and bringing the money, hey, we'll take it. We'll take it.
I'm gonna let my small town just come through. I'm from a small town. It's too much. It's too much. Too much.
So, thank y'all so much for supporting. Let's talk about one of the topics they brought up. They talked several, and you can pick 1, 2 of what they talked about. She was concerned, that she won't have the same life experience as her mixed race kids when they have children. Okay. She was concerned about that experience. And also they were concerned, how do we make sure our children feel like they're included in both? In both. You don't have to pick one. You're a mixture of the two. I was quite enthused that she had the conversation. She felt like, or it seemed like she really was feeling, the pressure of it. And since she was a concerned parent, that's all we're asking for you to be concerned. And she said Vic will be there to help guide her, because y'all remember, Vic is a doctor of public policy, and his concentration is criminal justice reform. So, Easton, how did you find that conversation? Of course, as we're not in their house, under the mulberry bush.
It's one of those like sticky situations in terms of a conversation that you'll have with a partner. It's like, well, how are we going to embed our culture within, a biracial child, and like, what if they have a little bit more affinity to one than the other, which we kind of see with other castmates, and just people, just how society is kind of evolving now. I think it was a really good conversation. They handled it with a lot of maturity. I think it was just par for the course, especially nowadays with there being a lot more interracial dating going along. But I think I like how Vic did step up and like wanted to, you know, make his presence be known, because we do get that a lot of the conversation online, at least from what I hear, is that, you know, when it's a difference when the mom is white or when the mom is black. The culture is more prevalent when the mom is black than when the mom is white. And so if I'm glad to hear that Vic's making it known, like, hey, I will be making sure that they know about, you know, their family members, and they can go on both sides of the town or whatever it may be. I think that that's rather important, because, you know, people be paying attention to who your mama is, and that does have a huge influence in how the culture is perceived and even embedded into the child going down the future. So yeah, I'm glad that they had it and it was televised.
Right. Wonderful that they had the conversation. I would like to know the, you know, family makeup. I'm thinking, you know, Christine, if this is the first, you know, other race marrying into her family, I would love to know that. Trey, what were your thoughts on that conversation?
I thought it was very brave of them to not only have the conversation, but also have it out loud and in the public eye, i.e. us. You know, and the way they handled it was probably the best way you can handle it. You know, there was no, if you notice, there was no sense of fear of having misrace kids and will this be a deciding factor to us being married. It was, when we have it, how are we going to handle this?
Yes.
So there was a sense of we are locked in together. What it is, we're going to, however this works, we're going to try and make it work. I appreciated that sense of talk that was happening. I said, thank you. Finally, some commitment. You know, there's really no. I don't have any questions about this couple at decision day. At least not yet. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Locked in is what it should be. You know, regardless of how we thought about it in the beginning, because I said, I feel like this couple was set up from the very beginning. They were put together. So you still got that, you know, in the background. They were put together. But since they've been put together, they have seemed to come together and be like, you know what? We're riding this out. So it's just the conversation going on around them is just questionable. What is this? You know, you don't really have it outside of that park situation and them being at her mom's house. There was no camera crew.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And Mama's house in the park. And twice at the park.
That's an important point, because you see how producers are influencing and even making people rehash out conversations that they've had beforehand, behind closed doors, which, you know, some conversations are a little bit better had behind closed doors than up front. But I like that this seems a lot more authentic rather than it seems like fabricated and like they procured this to be the way that it is.
It always comes across better across the screen. Even if it's a rough conversation, it just comes across better. Yeah. So, one question I did, maybe I'm mistaken, they also worked at the mixer, were they?
They were at the mixer.
They were there, right? They were there, right?
Okay. But they didn't get a lot of airtime this first.
Exactly. That's what I'm
which makes me feel like it's like, I don't want to be a tinfoil hat theory kind of person, but
go ahead, put it on, bro.
But like, why aren't they getting a lot more screen? Like, why aren't they getting a lot more screen time and airtime? Like, I said, you know, I sent you that infographic where it showed up the time from last episode or last batch of episodes. They had like the lowest on the totem pole for men and women. I'm like, this is terrible.
Because y'all don't want to see love. Y'all need to see messy trash and drama.
The
Hot Mess Express. You're buying a ticket on the Hot Mess Express. You all aren't buying the Kumbaya.
Elsie, we had this discussion in Germany. We had the same discussion.
We did.
This has come up again, and I told you then there's going to be a swing. I told you it has to be a swing, and we're getting the swing. But on a production standpoint, I don't think the swing has been done well. The couple is fine. They're making it work. But just from a production standpoint, behind the scenes, I don't think the swing is being executed well here. Because you know what it seems. I got a theory. You know what it seems like to me. This okay. Production meeting. The individual producers come back and they talk about what's happened, the footage they got. I think at some point probably around when it was about to go to, the vacation, right? I think they had a talk and they went, you know what? I got a feeling these couples that we want to go forward, that they choose to film, ain't none of them going to make it. And they had to look back on their memo and went, wait a minute, we're supposed to have some, we got to at least have 1 or 2 Cinderella couples. We need more. Okay, now we got to backtrack. I think it was a situation, I think they got the memo. Because they also noticed it in the international couples. There was a concern, especially in Germany, there was a concerted effort to make sure they had more healthy couples going forward. No, not too much drama. Maybe, a little bit, still drama was there, but they tried to make sure they picked the couples that had a chance this time. It was like, okay, I think USA version got the same memo. And they started out okay in the past. So, okay, we're going to try and show some couples, which is that's why I said this couple seemed like they were put together. This particular one put together. We're going to try to manufacture one that could work out and maybe have another one that looks, it could be okay going forward too, maybe. Then their regular order operations started to happen. They chose all the couples that they normally would choose for maximum drama. Then they realized somebody went, oh, wait, no, we still got to have at least a couple, we remember, we got a memorandum here. We got to go back and all of a sudden, they fit this couple. We're going to send you to another place because budget, and y'all going to film your stuff, this, and that, third. We don't have an apartment for you, which is also strange. Don't have an apartment for you.
That is
y'all
true.
go stay at your own places. That's what I'm saying. It's a lot going on here.
Excuse me. This sounded a whole like a back of the bus situation. I'm sorry.
Yes.
We can't take you to Mexico. We ain't got a camera crew for you.
So
this makes a
we
lot of
ain't got
sense.
it for you.
I'm telling you, a couple of things has been happening on this. I can see it. A couple of things been happening on this situation.
What?
They got the main memo overall. We need to have more positivity on the show. They got the main memo, but the US version, those main producers, like, they're still stuck in the drama. Oh crap! No. Remember, we got a memorandum. We gotta finagle some things around here. Because I put it like this: there's a reason why they're hiding behind this budget excuse, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask the question. And I've always had this question every year. First off, we know that they always film more couples going through than what's actually shown. Number
this
one.
is true.
We have 2 more couples they have not shown.
Yeah.
Yes. Even now, you got more couples that went through that's not shown. My question has always been, every show has a budget. That is true. That they are not exempt from that. What is their budget? How many couples are allowed in their budget each season? Because it always has looked like it's been 5 at the least. It's always, every iteration, it's always looked like it's been 5. They may have a 6th one because they know another couple's about to fall out, so they got to replace it real quick. What's the actual budget? What's the cutoff here? Because think about it, when you go get these apartments, vacations, money add up. Get these apartments, that's a nice chunk of change for that small allotment of time. They're probably doing a month-to-month lease on those suckers, but that's still a nice little chunk of change.
But it's not just theirs. They have to pay the crew. They have to have the crew have to have living quarters.
Yes.
So I understand that. But we're not giving us, the audience, a full representation of this couple. We're not seeing this couple, even if they did do a home visit. We have not seen Vic's home. We have not seen Christine's home, actual home, not the hometown
Yes.
visit. I
Yes.
appreciate the hometown visit, but we went to his lecture hall.
This makes it
It
seem
is
like they did
giving
it.
me back of the bus.
It seems like they did this after the fact, potentially.
Yes.
Yes.
Some of it is definitely, oh no, wait, we gotta call you back up, do this, that, third. We want to splice it together.
Because it's just weird that they're not really integrated with even like, I'm just thinking about like all the really lovable couples, like even Lauren and Cameron, Brett and Tiffany, like Kwame and like all of them were still integrated within the grander landscape of Love Is Blind. Like they were still doing things, like whether it be meetups or hanging out with the guys or the girls or doing the little outings. And it doesn't seem like Vic and Christine are even uber involved or even like really much recorded. So I don't know. I have an issue with that. I mean, I don't want to say that they're like a plant, but I also don't want to be like, I've watched every season, and I've watched every season intently, and this is really, really new and really, really weird considering the fact.
Not to compare the brothers, but do you really think that Brett would allow him and Tiffany to be still showcased and not go to Mexico?
Nah,
ain't happening. That's why I need to know what part of Brooklyn Vic is from. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go.
I didn't stop it, Elsie. That man has changed. Okay. He's a professor now. He has left those street days behind him. I feel him on that. Me and him kind of similar in that way. I feel him on that. We left that behind. He ain't mess with them Brownsville girls.
He doesn't have to bring the Ville out, okay? He just have to say, yo, I understand and I recognize what is happening here.
I will say something. I'll give them this bit of bail, and it's a little bit. It's a little bit of a theory, but I do 10 for a hat. Because they are the darling couple, they are making it seem like they're making a concerted effort to keep them away from the other couples that they know there's going to be problems. You get them messed up in their mess, you could mess up this chemistry of this couple. So it does feel like they're trying to keep them apart to a certain extent.
I guess, but it's just it's just incredibly weird that they're just not even again. It's that they're just not integrated with the landscape and the story of season 10 more than like it's happened in the past. Like I just remember like season 4, Marshall talking to Brett about what happened with Jackie, and then even Marshall going to the wedding and all this. It just doesn't seem like it's all like organic, and it just seems like they're either a little bit of a plant or at least they're not. I don't think that they're trying to protect them. I think that they have a really good idea of what the users and what the viewers want, and the viewers want the drama. It's just what it is. The viewers want the drama, and they know it. And so I think that they made actually a better effort. They're like, this season is all about here, take it. We gave y'all the 2 sisters. We gave y'all a brother. We gave y'all, we giving y'all a marriage because we couldn't give y'all that last time. So here, damn, that's what we gonna give y'all. And now we gonna go back to the regularly scheduled drama that y'all gonna like and y'all gonna get triggered by and y'all gonna make think pieces of videos on.
I'm gonna say something very controversial. Viewers actually don't know what they want until you actually give it to them.
Yeah,
that's the real key behind producing television shows, movies, whatever. They actually don't know what they truly want till you actually give it to them. Okay, and I'm gonna use this as a prime example. Yes, most people are going to be drawn to drama. It is what it is. But look at what's happening here. They gave you so much drama in Love Is Blind that people started to backlash on it now. Too much drama. We don't need it. So now they're going to try to reverse it a little bit. But if you reverse it too far and give them all positivity, oh my God, it's just boring.
Yeah. They
don't know what they want. This is why it's always good, especially in television, especially in like reality TV like this, and it's based on a dating show. I've always preached it should be more in the middle of the road. You should do 50%. Half of your cast is true love stories as much as possible. The other half is for the drama. Don't do one side or the other. And it starts with the choices you make in who you're recruiting, because we still got an issue with this recruiting process. They are, especially with the men, they're recruiting these guys. These guys.
Well,
You know what I'm
the
saying?
audience said they want the drama and the viable couples.
That's why I said 50%.
I don't really think it's gonna be 50. I think, unfortunately, even to me,
hope for 50%.
let's hope
wherever it falls. I'm just saying.
I think it's 90-10. I think it's 90-10.
Nah, we can't do that. That's still.
No, I think that
they were already giving us 90-10, and we see what happened.
No, because we were getting more people. The issue isn't that we aren't getting happy marriages. We were getting marriages. We weren't getting people to the altar. People would be fine, but I'm saying I think that it was a thing of people not getting to the altar because they were so bad in the beginning, and it was like, oh, this is just a bunch of drama. If people got to the altar and then they said no, then I think that they would. I think that the viewers would be fine. I think they would be okay.
That's Elsa's argument, because she likes couples. If you're going to be in there, go all the way to the altar.
It's an experiment.
I have never fallen in that category, because I've always been like, if you know you get with this person and you know that it's not going to work, don't waste my time by dragging these people to the altar. I'm on the opposite end of that. Don't waste my time.
You sign a contract. You make a decision at the altar.
I feel you, but I'm still going to say the same thing. I'm gonna get on you worse, because I knew that you didn't like that girl, or I knew you didn't like that man, and you still took him all to the altar. I.e., a whole bunch of people we can name.
Y'all were roasting me when I was telling y'all ahead of time that Clay was going to say no to AD, but y'all didn't want to listen to me.
I said
you're right, and I agree with you in the comments. I was like, he gonna say no. There's no reason for him to say yes.
But also, I think it's just that I guess we can move a little off of Vic and Christine after this. But yes, I think that we get to see more, and we have more visibility into the producers and what goes on. Like, once we got the reveal about the contract and how you could be mandated to go to the altar regardless of what you feel like or what you want to do, then it makes you have to think and look at these people differently, which is why I guess Clay was upset with how people treated KV over him last season or any other seasons. I think that now we are starting to see how the sausage is made, and the viewers aren't necessarily liking that. And now you get Vic and Christine, and you're just like, y'all, we know normal Love is Blind, and this ain't normal Love is Blind. So what's going on? What's going on here?
But Easton, we always say that most people don't want to know how their food got to the grocery store for them to buy. Most people don't want to know what is the process to get this piece of meat or this piece of fruit or this whatever to your table. Most of them don't want to know. They can't handle it. You can't handle the truth.
It just the issue is it has real world implications now, because people get invested and people are far more parasocial. And with that being said, then they are like, I'm going to learn everything about this person. I'm going to look this person up. I can even go to the point of like, I think it's the most cringeworthy and kind of corny thing to do, but like all the exes come out right once they get the reveal and they're like, this is my ex on this show. It just becomes
I hate that.
It's just a really cringy moment, and I think that now it's because people are now either they're triggered by the relationships that they see on the TV, or they get over invested, and then that resolves in them like feeling hurt if their favorite person doesn't make it to the end, or their relationship doesn't work out. So I don't know.
It's getting so bad that the exes are getting the interview. The exes are getting an interview for the show is even over with.
I don't like that.
Some things, some things we probably want to know, but some things I'm just like, wait, you're ex for a reason. Why am I hearing from you?
But then why did you stay with that person if they were exhibiting these behaviors?
It don't make it don't make you better. It really don't. It make you worse. So you probably should have stayed quiet behind the scenes. But everybody wants to see.
We'll get to that person's ex when we get to them. Okay. But in meanwhile, we're watching how not only, that we're seeing Vic and Christine on our screens, but how are we seeing them and how basically they are producing their own season. That's what it's looking like. Easton, where would you like to go to next?
It's 2 Super Bowls. No, Elsie, I'll let you pick.
Nah, it's on you, bro.
Because I
gotta choose a regular season game.
A regular season game would be would Bree and that's Bree and Connor. That's like a Super Bowl pick.
Now that's playoffs because it leads into a big game. That's playoff.
I'm trying to think.
Okay, you're so indecisive.
Let's go, Jessica and Homeboy.
Nah, that's
Chris,
no.
Super Bowl.
That's a Super Bowl.
Okay.
Sorry,
yeah, Mike and Emma.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah,
that's fine. Even though it's kind of a Super Bowl, it's kind of a playoff game. It's kind of a playoff game.
The chat knew where we need to go. I need to ask the chat and not you, Easton.
I'm sorry. It's a lot of heavy topics.
Easton, I'm sorry, bro. You were sounding like Kayvon for a second, bro. What? Hey, bro.
I just want everybody to win. I just want us to talk about everybody.
I was like, bro, make a decision.
I just want everybody to win, y'all. I just want everybody.
Now,
y'all keep throwing my hands up. Bro, come on now.
This week, we see Emma and Mike. We didn't see where they lived, but we met the families. And the way the mama and daddy says coffee, it took me back to my Brooklyn streets. I'm sorry. I need to know if they are really from Brooklyn. Okay? If they're really from New York. The way they said that coffee, it took me. Here's my concern.
Connecticut.
Not Connecticut.
It might be.
It could be, but daggone it. Here's my concern. Emma's parents.
Interesting bunch. The whole family.
The sister wished she never had kids. If I could do this all over, I love them all, but I wouldn't want them.
And those kids look very pleasant. Those look like some pleasant kids.
The kids were not feisty. The kids were well filmed. They were behaving. Then Emma's parents say, we didn't even know you had like 2 personalities. You were vibrant in school, and then you come home and you head to your room and have nothing to say to us. We did not know that you are battling with this no kids thing because of your disease. I need to know, what does the family know? Considering that Emma was the only child after the other 2 girls left, what are we doing?
She told them nothing, and they didn't ask. She talked to her sisters about it. That's it.
I don't even think she talked to them.
No, she talked to one. That's daggone show. She talked to one because when she told the parents that, the sister was nodding her head like, "Yeah, I knew."
Let me say this, Cheryl. Thank you, and don't forget Mike's mama saying, That is gravy, not sauce. Don't confuse the two. One has meat and one is without meat. And she seems like a very pleasant girl, but I don't know.
They checked her out. They said she done. Mike's family read that whole situation like, you can't win with this. This can't be. She ain't gonna be in this family. So we
ain't having cousins. We ain't having cousins.
They marked that girl off. I and I'm with them. They marked that girl off in their head. Even the mom was just there, and she marked him off marked Emma off early on into the conversation. And Mike is doing the textbook mistake. He's trying to overqualify Emma, and this issue is dudes do. If you like a girl a lot and you trying to qualify her to your family, your friends, when they already getting picked up the beat and they know that she ain't it. My mom used to do that all the time. My mom used to write in a book. Yeah, but she said or she and we have a great time. My mom wrote in a book every time if I brought somebody home, she's like, it's not gonna work. Because I be defending them tooth and nail. And my sisters were a lot more direct. They like, Easton, this ain't it. I love her.
But
and then my mom would just write in the book. And then she would write the date, and then she checked back in like a half a year later, and it would be like, this ain't it. And then she was right. but you're just like so green that you're just trying to overqualify Emma, and Emma's already wishy-washy about having kids. My issue with Emma is that on the flip side, you know that this man is adamant about wanting to have kids. I don't like how there is a lion's share of responsibility on one party or the other. Either y'all both taking responsibility that y'all aren't holding each other's boundaries up, or it shouldn't be one of those things where it's like, well, you know, she don't want to have kids or she's wishy-washy. Mike, it's your fault for doing this. No, the same way can be said for Emma. He told you he want 11 kids. That means he want a football team. That means 11 kids. Are you ready for that, Emma? No. And then her sister, I felt like her sister was projecting in that moment. I felt like this is her moment on TV to say that I didn't see a ring. I ain't gonna say that you got to have a ring on your finger to have this position or stance, but I felt like she either regretted it, and this is her grandstand of saying, "Hey, you don't have to have kids. I don't want. I wish I didn't have kids, and I don't know if she's married or if she got a husband or if she has a adequate partner to help support her. But she came as if she was like positioning and jockeying that she is like anti-kids now, and she's also super supportive of Emma and her parents. I'm like, you adopted a whole kid, so are you all on this no kid train? You should be cheering, hyping up Mike because you want grandkids and stuff like that. So,
Trey,
you ever see? I'm gonna start with the parents came off very nice and kind. First off, okay. But you ever see a group of people? How can I say this? They're very nice, very kind, but sometimes a little unaware. You know, they're just so focused on just doing the right thing without actually seeing what's going on in their own backyard. Like, and now I'm gonna be honest, that puts most of the onus on them of raising this girl. But at some point, I gotta flip it. Emma, you knew you were having these feelings and feeling this way. Why didn't you never voice that to your parents? Because they were generally shocked and surprised. And you're a very talkative person. You never voiced this to your parents. But I know who you did voice it to. That's why I say you voiced it to your sisters, which is okay. That's your sisters. You voiced it to your sisters, though, because they knew. When she talked about the scars and her, you know, being not unsure of when to have kids because of her ancestry, when she passed that along, it's a real concern. Now, I'm gonna come at them. Let me start with Mike's parents. Now, I'm almost with y'all, but I'm halfway. I think in the beginning, especially Mike's mother, she was like, "Oh nah." As soon as she heard that she was, you know, a little iffy on kids, it was "oh nah," and didn't understand it. It wasn't until she forced her, she forced her to tell her somewhat the truth of the situation. But when she voiced that truth, I saw the understanding on his mom's face. Oh, okay, I get it now. I get that. And you saw her soften. And I saw her like her more because of it. But she is still unsure of it. She's very unsure.
She said, "That girl, don't bring that girl home. Don't even." The mama is like, she a nice girl, but don't bring her home.
The mama is just like old girl's daddy. She know that he got a terrible picker. Yeah. That your mama know you better than anybody else, and she knows that Mike is a terrible picker, which is probably why he's singled out.
Yeah. Now going back to her sister, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll tell you right now. God, I hate saying this. Actually, I don't hate saying it. Let me just say it. The whole reason why Emma doesn't want kids or have the thought of not wanting kids, it has nothing to do with her and her scars. Not really. That's the excuse.
It's a sister.
It came from her sister. Her sister planted that idea in her head because of her own life. Her sister did that. I have to look at her sister. I'm like, why did you have kids in the first place? If you felt this way. And you can miss me with, "Oh, but I love them." I don't know if I can believe that. I don't know. Talking? It sounds like you was in the situation you got with a guy, and their husband wasn't there because they brought the kids out. Both of the husbands were there. But they didn't hear that part. They didn't hear that part. They didn't hear that part that she said she really didn't want them. I don't know if they actually know that.
I just didn't see no ring. I was like,
They
"Where's
know
the
it this
ring?"
week. They know
Yeah,
it
they had
this
a ring.
week.
Yeah, they're gonna know now. They had one. There was their husbands that came out with them kids. The husbands.
No, I'm saying Emma's sister. I was looking at that left hand real intently. I said, "You don't talk. You ain't talking and sounding like you got a ring on your finger."
But their husbands came out. That's why it threw me off. I was like, wait a minute. Hold on. And there was nice little kids. That's nice little kids.
They were not loud. They were not rambunctious. But yes, her sister hate her kids.
I think her husband might be sliding down walls secretly.
He punching the air right now.
He's like, what? What? He might be sliding down walls secretly. You know what I'm saying? There's some conversations going on that's not being brought out in public until now. Now it is. You know, so yeah, I'm more interested to find out what's going on in the sister and her relationship, because I'm like, after I would hear that, I don't know how I would feel. Like, wait a minute, we got kids together now. I feel like you really don't want them. But what's going on?
She may have serious postpartum.
And that could be a thing. If that's it, then that's something you need to dive into.
At least for the youngest one, because, you know, many studies say that it can last as long as 3 years. And that child seemed very much under 3.
Well,
but she said neither one of them.
Yeah, I feel like this idea of no children started before that.
Yeah,
it seems like a long-standing thought. So it's weird that you even have them. It's almost like you compromised in this relationship with your husband because he probably wanted children himself. So you compromise on them. That's what it was feeling like.
But then again, I think there's a growing narrative. Like, I feel like, you know, now that there's far more agency and autonomy, it's not a necessary thing, and that's a good thing. But also, you might have an issue where, you know, there are expectations to get married and have kids, and that's not really what you want to do. You might had other plans, but you had some societal, you know, pressure that could cause you not to do the things that you want to do. I don't know, but it just seems like she was projecting hardcore, and I felt bad for the husband. I felt bad for the kids. I guess I feel it's good to have a conversation like that, but I like Trey was saying, I do think that this was something that may have gotten implemented and embedded on Emma a lot younger, a lot earlier on. And also, even because she is adopted, I just think that she comes up with her own reasons as to why she didn't want to have kids. And maybe I'm completely wrong, but it just seemed like her sister is way too like type A in that capacity. I can't hear what you say, Sid.
She said it with her chest. The sister said it with her chest.
I said, okay, I didn't even know it was like that. And then even when Mike was saying how she was being so combative towards Mike when he was like talking about, I said, it seemed like this was a inside job to basically, I feel like both people's family meetups were inside jobs to get their side a little bit more across the line. I felt like Mike with his family, and even like, oh, well, I want my kids, my kids and their cousins to all hang and stuff like that. I felt like that was a tad bit of a inside job. But again, Emma knew that Mike wanted to have kids and wanted to have 11. He said specifically he wants to have a football team, and she's the only one that's somewhat flip-flop. Mike ain't said, I can kind of see myself without kids. No, Emma's been very, very flip-floppy on this entire subject. So that's what made me change my mind, because yes, Mike has betrayed himself, and I feel like he shouldn't have even made it this far with Emma. But Emma's been the only person who's been like somewhat considering it. And whenever they met with the family, I didn't particularly like it felt like an inside job. And I'm like, even with the mom and the dad, I'm like, one, y'all don't even know y'all daughter, but two, for somebody who's gonna make the huge life decision of adopting a child, and not even adopting just any child, a child who's Chinese, who has no ties to this country or this, like, the culture that you're bringing them into, like, that has to be, these are like very intentional decisions. And so obviously you had your own kids, and then you want to add in another one. So what's your issue with kids? I would think you'd be more Team Mike than Team Emma, but hey, that's me. And I just was, I said, look, there's something going on with this.
Well, they had her toddler drinking out of the gold cup. I said, oop, 30 years from now, Love is Blind contestant. Hope not. Anything else y'all want to say about between gravy and sauce? That's what I'm going to call them.
You gotta. This. I saw a statement earlier. Everyone, you absolutely have a right to decide if you want to have kids or not. The problem is know what that answer is, especially coming into something like this. You can't be wish-washy. This is not a wish. This is really not a wish-washy subject. It's really not. Either you do or you don't, and you gotta face both of those consequences, wherever it might be, it might be. But at least know the answer before you walk into something like this.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they'll know the answer, and we will round up at the end of this. We will give our predictions on who's a yes, no, or maybe. Okay. Mm-hmm. So next up, let's go with Amber and Jordan. Did y'all love the crusted toothpaste on the electric toothbrush? How about that banana that was rotted on the counter? But I don't know, I leave a banana out too long and there's stuff buzzing around it. I think that was planted, but that's okay. That's on me. We visited Jordan's place. We visited Amber's house. We got the full experience. I'm lovely that Jordan is not in the double wide because he concerned me when he asked her to be the queen of his double wide.
But that man in the hood, though.
Hey.
I saw the water meters in the front. I said, yeah, my boy in the hood. I said, yeah. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you, my boy.
But we also learned that Amber's daughter's dad did meet with him, off camera. It was a productive conversation. They're enthused. I'm happy about this couple. There's some topics to have, but these three episodes, Amber was the how can I say it? I was cheerleading for her, especially at the mixer. She handed Chris his behind to him. But yeah, she has a lot to think about with Jordan. Because the whole school thing, where are we going to live? And Jordan just wants to live closer to Columbus so that he has more bars to go to. Explain this to me, Trey, please.
I said this from the first time we discussed these episodes. Amber is struggling. Okay,
she needs Superman.
Yeah, she is struggling. She needs Superman and got Bizarro. Okay. And I like Jordan. As a person. I think he's a cool guy. This is probably not it for him. This is not it. And for her either. But this is a situation when I said last week we talked about this. Amber's in a situation where she is generally with a nice guy. He's a good person. So, in her mind, I can't mess this up. Personalities like Jordan don't come every day. They just don't. So now you got to make some decisions. Like, okay, what am I willing to sacrifice to make this work? Is this actual viable and feasible? Because he got a lot of the attributes that I would want in a man. It's just some things he's lacking in. What do I do? And it's a hard question to have. And she got a kid in the midst of this. She got a kid also that she has to think about as well. And I'm telling you right now, for some reason, I feel like she's a little surprised that the meeting with her daughter's father went so well. That it's so productive.
I don't think she might have the best relationship.
Probably not. But I think that they met and it was cool. It was great. It was like probably surprising to her because that could have been a way out. And the daughter could still be a way out for her. If the daughter doesn't like him like that, whatever. If the daughter likes him, what you gotta do now? What you gonna do, mama?
Amber don't like that man. We just gotta call a spade a
Not
spade.
like that.
She don't
Not
like
like
that
that,
man
no.
like that. She gonna give it the good old Ohio State try since he's a good guy and she on the show, but she don't like that man like that. She not attracted to him. I think that it's just I'm big again. I go back to the reveal, but it didn't seem like she was overly attracted to the Jordan. It's just when every compliment you give me is about my personality and how nice and good of a guy I am. Oh no, that's a dub. Let me fly out the cage and then find a new home. But on the other side, I don't think Jordan is mature enough to be the type of guy that Amber needs. She needs somebody who's already pre-built, who's not living like a frat boy, who's got a very concise plan with his career. And Jordan is like a fly by night. The fact that he's worried about, moving again, granted, I might not want to move from in the city to the boonies, because that's what she was basically insinuating. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But I think that she how she was trying to leverage and position her home. I get it. I know that she's invested a lot of money in it, and we're not saying you sell it or anything like that. But this got to be a compromise for both of us. And honestly, when you do have a child, you have to put the child as the priority, and so that means school district. What's the crime look like for the neighborhood? Do we know the neighbors? Do we have family in close proximity? All this stuff becomes a factor, and I don't think Jordan is the guy that's even on his radar. And so, I don't think that this is gonna. I think that they might like each other for a little bit, and then it just fizzles out because real life hits after the filming is done, and after the marriage, and after the wedding, and after the engagement stuff, and that's where Jordan is going to be lackluster, and Amber's going to want more. And seeing how she was at that reunion, she's very type A, and she borderline don't even really like dudes, and so she gonna tear Jordan a new one.
She would tear him a new one, but she did kind of calm him down when he was going on and on. Oh, I really like Chris. I really like. She's like, But then he was trying to calm her down, and she said, not too much. And so there's a back and forth with them. He's seeing some things, and she clearly knows a whole lot more. What I will say is I think that Amber, since she did introduce him to her daughter's father, is why I'm thinking she may go all the way with this. Because that is a big commitment. And, sorry to say, she probably going to go all in because it's never worked with the bad guys. And this is finally a good guy. And she going to want to try and see if it works. It may not work, but I could see her jumping all in.
Oh, for sure. You don't want to try.
That's the funny thing. I will say this. Just strictly personality wise, I can see how they connected. And they probably do need each other for different reasons. They fill out what each other actually needs in their life. The issue is, of course, the attraction, number one. But we might have to put that to bed because he looked like a dang old brother. Like what? So I'm like, maybe we kind of missing the bus on that one ourselves, because maybe he does fit a certain extent that she won't mind. We just was a little like,
She ain't got no problem sliding that CPAC over.
That's for a week. We talking about a lifetime. We talking about a
lifetime is different.
A lifetime is different. Look, they in the honeymoon phase. Yeah, everything is great. All right, I'll give you a month or two.
Okay. So I still think they're gonna give it a good-hearted try, and it ain't gonna work out.
Yeah,
but we shall see. Why is Amber's hair irking you? Is because it's the big hair. Okay?
Yeah, it's so old school. That's the thing. That's
right.
It's so old.
Victorian.
Yeah.
Thank you. You know what? I forgot, Easton. I did download the silhouette, and I promised it to you, and I forgot it.
Oh.
I'll see if I could download it by the time we get to the end. Okay.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of things with Amber, and that silhouette was one of those ones that got me. I was like, now, ma'am, what is he doing?
At the end, when we're going over all the couples, I'll make sure to get Amber's silhouette out here so people can understand what you're talking about. So next up, we only have a few left. Okay, we only have a few.
But these are the Super Bowl. This playoffs are Super Bowl.
These are the Super Bowls, and one leads into the other. So we got to start with this one. Daddy put him on a hot skewer. Daddy said, daughter, you still have a bad picker. Also, I'm sorry, men, and I'm glad I have two gentlemen on the panel. A man trying to explain to me how my cycle work don't work for me. Don't work for me.
I'll mansplain what he was trying to put down.
Please, this is the one time permission you will have to mansplain this, and you will dig yourself out. But let me finish the lead up to this. Daddy said, "You're full of it." How many places have you lived in the last 5 years? About 5 different places. He even been a fisherman in Australia. Nothing wrong with fishermen. But also, Daddy clocked, you don't even have your trading license anymore. And I'm sorry, I know people who trade in currency, and they don't just trade one currency. I'm sorry, Alex is so full of bull. I don't understand. And you wanna argue with me about arranging water bottles in the refrigerator? Mm-hmm. You have just put me on permanent ice. Easton, go ahead and mansplain it.
Okay, 2 things. Where I did do my own individual research, he does have multiple financial licenses. He does have a brokerage license. Like these are like empirical facts that I actually looked up. He does have his track record does land. He did work for Merrill Lynch and then I think another bank at the time beforehand. Where I think the issue is with Alex is he is such a like private and traumatized person. Everything he says comes across as a lie. And I do applaud Ashley's father for all of the grilling and him like getting into the weeds. I think he's incredibly insecure, and that causes him to over explain or have his story be so perfectly like massage that it comes across super fake and super like fabricated. On the flip side, I honestly think that they had a scare. I think that they had a scare while doing the do because they were talking about doing it raw, and the worst thing for him and his nomadic lifestyle is having kids. Children
being trapped
like his mom and dad. Like he said, he for somebody to refer as himself as an accident, there's something there, and he don't want that because that would make him feel trapped. And so I think for him, knowing the ovulation and knowing that, I think that they had a scare, and which is why he's super pushy as to, okay, well, I can either go to Arizona or I can go to Florida, and Florida lines in with our politics and other stuff like that. It just is really, it's really, really weird how private and how like little he says so much but says so little at the same time. He'll give you a timeline of what he does, but he doesn't get very deep. He's always very surface level. I was here. I did these jobs here. I did this here, and that's it. He don't get deep. And then once Ashley started poking and prodding about the boyfriends and stuff like that, he started to get agitated, and that's when his mask fell. And then he had to be like, well, it's not really cheating because we weren't doing that, and it also forces his feelings to be a little bit more out there. But I don't think that. I think Alex or Ashley's dad spoke right. I think honesty isn't his strong suit, but I don't think he was lying. I think that I think that he just doesn't get deep enough to really showcase all of the different areas of in his life, and the stuff that he's willing to share is very surface level.
I'm not going to give the dad a lot of credit. There's a reason why. Okay, when I watch this whole interaction, people, this is the difference between a Republican and a Trump. Plain and simple. Plain to see. Okay? Plain to see. Now let me get into the weeds of it. The reason why I won't give Dad all the credit is because, yes, he was reading him. He knew exactly who he was after those few questions he asked him. And you know what he said afterwards? My daughter still got a bad picker, so she's going to pick him anyway. So what I say don't even matter. So you said nothing at the end of the day. She's going to pick him. It means nothing. Even though he was on point, I'm a lawyer, I know liars. You know, and he didn't call him a full-off liar. He said he just have an issue with the truth. He got a problem with the truth. Not a full-off liar.
Ain't in him. The truth is not his strength.
It's not his strength. And he said that very specific. It's not that he's just out here lying. It's just that the truth ain't, you know.
I don't think he was lying.
I'm be honest with you, we have yet. Now, I'll be honest, this is good. I know this else is about to go off the rails when I say this. We have yet to call Alex except for one time, we have yet to call Alex in the straight off lie. The only time we saw him lie was about that whole Britney situation when he downplayed that.
Wait, real quick,
Trey.
It
only takes one time.
Wait,
take one time to make.
Wait, real quick.
Wait,
Trey. I don't want to cut you off. Put a pin in your point. Also, in today's age, with all this dating and him lying, by now, one of Alex's victims, if he was a Tinder swindler or something like that, they would have been on TikTok with an 18-part series by now.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he ain't lying. He just ain't giving.
He's not lying.
I don't think he's lying.
He just don't care.
I'm sorry, gentlemen. This is where I have to come in as the double X chromosome. Y'all may be out here thinking y'all ain't lying to us, but this is where we are going to see differently. This is where we ladies are going to be. Y'all are blatantly lying to us.
I get it, but somebody would have came out with a story. But if Chris and all these other
why
people,
would I come up with a story on him? For me to now be one of the two women that he done swished up in September? Ain't no way I'm coming out here to say I'm the gym girl or the ex from Austin. Ain't no way.
So
it is a way. They do it now anyway. They do it now anyway. They would absolutely do it. They would absolutely do it.
You had people coming out of the woodworks about Chris, about
Devontae,
for less. The fact that everybody hates Alex, and you could be easily one of the correspondents' most favorite person. I can see them right now meeting with story time with Ricky or Jesse about who is Alex behind closed doors. What is he about? All this other stuff, and nobody's popped up. I don't think that he's lying. I think he's
I'm gonna tell you the truth. You ain't gonna like it. He's a liar because you don't like it, and he's kind of unlikable. That the only thing that I can fault him on, he downplayed the whole situation with Britney. That's the only thing I can fault him on. Everything else he's been straight up about.
Hey, that's how he's wicked. He's the man that say, "Hey, we ain't gonna put no label on this, but we gonna do this thing." Again,
hey, cool, and you're right. But guess what? If you go along with that, that's on you, not him.
And
it's on him too. He knows
it's not. If I tell you, hold on now, wait a minute. No, we ain't doing this today. If I tell you, listen, I don't want nothing serious. Well, you know what? We'll give his example of the girl he was dating for that month when he was in Columbus. He said he wanted a relationship with her. She said she didn't want one. She didn't
understand his lifestyle, is what he said.
But she said the point was when it came time to, do you want to get a relationship? She said no. Okay. That's your answer. Fine, boom, and they left it at that. He goes to Austin for that week or whatever and hook up with her ex. So
get his back scratched because he was upset that he wasn't having access to the gym girl.
And
don't make it seem altruistic.
And he's a single man. He could do that.
He can't have needs. We can't have needs now. We can't have boundaries.
We ain't even got to go that far. No, we ain't got to go that far. Huh? He's a single man. He could do
Alex did not want to increase his body count. That's what it was.
I don't think he cares about his body count.
He don't care about that.
He don't care about his body count. I'm telling you, here's the issue. We don't like Alex because he's honest, but he's an a-hole. He's an honest a-hole. That's the issue with him.
The sisterhood don't
He's
like
an
that.
honest a-hole. Even when we get to the whole situation with her marking her cycle, let's keep it real. I'm gonna be real with you. Honestly, he should have. I don't know why he was trying to talk about it, but he should have.
She sounded like she was like trying to like. I'm like, ain't you the most fertile after the I was like,
yes, you are.
I don't know everything.
That's what I'm like.
I ain't no gynecologist, but the little things that I do know is that
yes, you absolutely are. You absolutely are. And she trying to do the do.
She said, well, a couple of weeks. I said,
miss me. See, I wasn't jocking that. No, I was looking at her like, no, wait a minute. This is some fishy ish. No, I got to get this off.
Go ahead.
Fishy ish. That was some fishy ish. Because hold on. Y'all have a good time down there, you know, boo, 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 this, that, third. Your cycle comes on. Obviously, you know that. Just getting the apartments. She's complaining that they wasn't having much time. He's like, you're on your cycle. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Most men, well, I ain't going to say most, a lot of men, they ain't about to run red lights. And we are just getting to know you within the first month. We got to be some time in before we start running red lights. Number one. She was trying to run red lights. Caution already. Caution. We just met.
She said, I'm that sexually frustrated. We got to run.
The problem is both of y'all don't want to wear protection.
That's number two. But that, you're right, but that goes to both of them.
Running a red light, more than just hazardous. If you are going to do it and make an informed decision, you better wrap up. But that's not the only, that's not the only access tunnel. Okay. So I need to know from them.
Yes. Oh my God.
What are we doing here? Is that means everything is off the table?
I'm just assuming with them and their affinity for Florida, I think that that's probably pretty, basic and I'm just making assumptions. But Alex saw his his nomadic lifestyle flash before his eyes.
Yes.
And this is the mansplaining version. When I'm paying attention to your ovulation cycle and stuff like that, we done had a scare time or two. I done got a feeling that you ain't tripping about you becoming a mom no time in the near future, and I need to be the overly responsible person. And so, as we are,
you'd rather stop than wear protection.
No, I would rather do the responsible thing and wear protection, but it doesn't. I mean, that's the first. Like, I'm not excluding that. That should be also added in.
Y'all do know that women can get pregnant as well when you're running red lights.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is why I'm like, Alex is lying.
We're talking about the average. What's the best time to do it here? My issue is still.
There's no best time without protection.
This still going to lead me. I'm glad you just said that. It still leads me back to the question that I had, number one, and really it was for her. Why are you trying to have unprotected eggs with this man? Why?
Daddy said the pick is bad.
Hard question to answer, huh? Why? Him, I kind of get. I've read Alice when we talked about him. I've read him since day one. I knew exactly what he was.
His whole facts.
I told y'all I knew exactly what he is. I knew exactly what he was. My question is, and he told you who he was, and he has been living up to exactly who he is. He told us this. That's why I say he really is not a liar. He just have a problem with the truth, like the dad said. Yes, it don't feel good. It feels the best, but it's not the safest. That's the point we getting at too. But it's still, the question remains. You just met this guy.
But he wants you, as High Vibe said, he wants you to quit your job too.
No,
can't be working.
No. He
didn't answer the question. He's trying to find it for her. You said
his escape route.
Place.
This is his escape route.
When are you going to find out? When can you move or can't move? I need to know. That's all the question was. Now, I do think he was pushing too much on it, but it's still a question that should have been asked. And number two, baby girl, yes, it's a question that you can't drag your feet on either. You know that at some point in time, he already told you, I either got a job opportunity down in Florida that's secure, or I could have opportunity in Arizona. Those are the two places that we want to go to. Okay?
And to add on to that real quick, Trey, now the sisterhood was sure enough supportive of Emma when she said that she didn't want to have kids. Now, I don't think that there's that much of a difference between having a job and moving the job and your original opinion about having a job. And even Alex, he said from the get-go, I'm a nomad. I like the nomad lifestyle. I need somebody who's going to be able to pick up and go like I do. And so he told you from the get-go. And we told Mike with Emma, hey, Emma, she's been saying that she ain't sure about kids. Mike, it's your fault. Never got with her.
But Alex was also condescending when she said, I have a conversation with my boss tomorrow. And she's like, hey, I've been here 5 minutes. I've been back 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes. I already have contracts. And it's been 5 minutes.
He's like, I've been on my piece of cube. Where you at?
But LC, we all know that conversation was one that was already had behind closed doors that the producers rehashed for filming. So I'm sure that with how the editing and with the filming goes, it's already a tough conversation to have behind closed doors. You already come to an agreement. Then you have to have it again, which is why they were talking about the water bottles. And she was like, oh, well, we already talked about that behind closed doors. I get it. Can y'all wait? Oh,
you froze just for a minute. You're back.
Yeah, you're back. You good?
Oh, it is good. Okay. Either way, all I was just gonna say was this seemed like they already had this conversation. They were already annoyed. It popped back up on the screen, and so which is why they had to talk about it again. But it seemed like Alex was already like, hey, this is what my plan is. You can either get along or you can go. But this is also his escape route. This is what he's banking on. He's banking on the fact that I told you that I'm a nomad and I got Arizona and Florida lined up, and you ain't ready to go to Arizona nor Florida. And so that's what it is.
I'm leaving without you. I'm leaving without
Alex, we talk about this. We talk about when the women do it. I'm thinking Alex is withholding physical as a punishment.
I don't think he likes her. No. He trying to get the good edit because it's not his type. He don't like her. We already told y'all Brittany was what he was going. We told y'all last week. He don't like her.
She's not his type.
But instead of he don't want to have to do what Chris did, and so he's trying to go out the. Oh, I told you. He's trying to be not dumb. Like, he's trying to because he knows y'all gonna kill him.
He's not dumb.
So I'm gonna just say, I told y'all. I got to go to Florida. I got to be a soccer coach. So this is what you get. This is what you get when you have the crew of viewers that we have with Love Is Blind. Is that you have people who aren't going to be authentic to their exit strategy. Because if you are, then you're gonna be crucified.
Listen, this man has told you exactly who he was from the very beginning. Okay? After that, it's on you, baby girl. You made the decision to try to be with him. It's on you. It's on you. And yeah, he didn't told you, listen, I'm going to this place with or without you. It's basically telling her, either you rolling with me or you ain't. There ain't gonna be no sweat off my back.
He told her in the pods. This ain't like I told you on the honeymoon. No, I've told you at the pods in the beginning stages in the inception of our relationship. The same. We got to have the same level of selection and vitriol and anger behind that. Behind Emma, and because she told you from the get-go. She told Mike from the get-go. I'm not sure if I want to have kids. Might want to have kids. Ashley knew about Alex's situation, so she made her bed. Now let her lay.
Let her lay in that bed. And this couple,
God's on the shoe. his mama, he get it from his mama. Let's be honest.
And his daddy.
Whoever his daddy, I don't think he know his daddy.
He said he met his daddy in Hong Kong.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
For a day or so.
For a day, and realized that dad had another family in in Australia, and the dad had another family in Hong Kong. That's where he married his translator. So he get it from both sides. But the only thing I will say is for Alex right now, no matter how much he doing sword play, he is not leaving children scattered all over that we know of.
No, he ain't doing that.
He is steadfast in, I am not going to be my father's child.
He said, I might even know your ovulation cycle. That's how it's serious.
Right.
I'm committed to it.
I need access to that tracking device you have. I need access.
Right.
Okay.
And if it changes,
that's what I will tell him.
It may come off a way, but I'm not mad at that.
Hey, I'm not mad at it. Not at all. Now, next up, as we lead to his preference, Brittany and Devontae. Brittany's dad. I like Brittany's dad. Another dad that coming through. But dad ain't put Devontae feet to the fire. Okay.
He want to get rid of his daughter. Take her.
Jesus. Yeah, he tired of being responsible for her. He knows she got a bad picker too.
Get out of here.
Have her, please. Even so much so he's working with Devontae to play a trick on his wife and daughter. But again, you see, this family came together, but I wish dad roasted him rather than, having a good emotional moment about his own parents. Dad want the wedding tomorrow. Y'all ain't got to figure nothing else out. Let's get this wedding tomorrow. So Brittany, I got to side eye you and side eye your family. Notice we did not go to where they live. We didn't do that. We have not met Devontae's family.
I don't think we will now. I get a feeling we won't.
We only met hers. Very lovely family. Really, really like them.
Whoa. They're grieving. They're coming off the, if we're looking at the days, the funeral should have been around that time from whenever they found out in the pods to when they finally, it's either a little bit after, a little bit before, it happened either a little bit before they got back or afterwards. So
I think it happened before they got back.
Yeah, before they got back. So grieving process.
Just to mention, high five. Yes, Alex does have a native look of Australian. He said he has his New Zealand passport. New Zealand. That's where his dad is from. But I get that. But Devo doesn't even have a picture of his family in the apartment. But at least we know there was a little bit of seasoning in that pot. There's a little bit of seasoning. And we also learned that he is the second child. I thought he was the eldest.
But
he's the second child.
I thought he was the
I knew he was the eldest.
No, I said, no. So she like dabbling a little bit. I said, okay.
I said last week, there's some hanky panky going on.
Yeah. That
I told y'all.
And he was engaged before to what? A black woman. So this ain't. I don't think that it's he hates black people and he hates Brittany because she's an Afro-Latina. That's not my thing. I think Brittany is very needy. I think he got the it. I've had it with beautiful people or maybe outwardly attractive people. I think they have a halo effect, and there's a level of pretty privilege that we don't really see them for all the different layers and how they can be as a person. And you kind of omit some of the emotional elements to them. And as beautiful as Brittany is, you can see the insecurity all over her. You can see how she needs a lot of reassurance, and not saying that she needs a lot, but the level of reassurance that she needs, the things that she needs her to say, she is severely insecure. I would bet $5. I'm not a betting man. $5 that she probably dated some athlete in the Big Ten in Ohio State or Penn State or something like that, and he probably cheated, and that probably because she probably thought that her life was. She probably surrounded her whole life around, and everybody's known that person in college. The girl surrounds her whole life around the superstar or whoever that athlete was, and then he ends up cheating, and then she ends up becoming small and insecure in the fact that he cheated, and that's Brittany. It might not be exactly, but I'll be willing to bet $5 that it's somewhat like 60% similar or close to it. And Devo is picking up that she is severely insecure and she has a very anxious attachment style. I've been listening to Kojo a lot. I've been picking up books. I've been reading. And as attractive as somebody can be, that's the biggest thing that can make an ick or make somebody seem less attractive than what they actually are is when they're insecure in that attachment style, and it makes them do more to try to garner some level of like a response or something like that. And so that's what I really think it is. And I think that what we're gonna see in this next batch, because I've been right, even with I told y'all with KB crashing out, when I told y'all she was gonna crash out, you're gonna see Brittany crash out because she's continually not getting what she wants from Devo, and Devo's kind of checked out, and she's gonna crash out and she's gonna show y'all who she is. So just wait till next week. I'll land it there.
Trey.
Listen. Okay, first off, why are we surprised that the dad didn't smoke Devontae? For what? Why would he? Devontae came in there mild-mannered, polite, and nice. There was nothing to really smoke him for. You know, there was where he presented himself, how she brought him in. There was nothing to really smoke him for. He just kind of cool dude. I like him. And yes, I'm telling you right now, he loves his daughter, but he's trying to get her out of there. He knows how needy his daughter is. Okay, he knows how needy his daughter is. Now, I'm gonna rehash and explain again. The situation between Devontae and Brittany. We cannot forget, because they brought it up again, and I think in episode 8, yeah, I wrote it down. Episode 8, they brought this up again. Devontae is still not over how the reveal happened. Okay? It was obvious when that reveal happened, he was attracted to Brittany. She's pretty. You can't help but be attracted to her. Brittany was not feeling him all the way, and she said so. And he caught it. He ain't stupid. He caught it.
We all get fat.
This me that no. And you don't say that. You just meet somebody and you're supposed to have a relationship with them else. No.
If that was Chris, that would have been a think piece.
Listen. If Devontae would have said that, we would have. Oh,
what?
No.
What?
Nah. Fast forward to the vacation. Let's not forget. She said no to the nanas. He said, okay, cool. Until when she found out all of the rest of the girls was getting this swerve on. Oh, I don't want to be left out. Now all of a sudden you ready to give up the cookie. I'm sorry. That's confusing. Why all of a sudden you ready to give up the cookie? For what? What's going on here? I actually praised Devontae. For putting the brakes on, like, whoa, what's this about? Because you said one thing over here, now you're talking a whole different thing over here. And then her insecurity start popping out. It could have started on a vacation. Her insecurity start popping out. And I'm telling you right now, to a lot of men, we don't say this enough, but it probably needs to be said now. That is a turnoff. You become unattractive when that happens. Especially because it leads into the conversation, which she had a valid point, but I'm like, Brittany, you got to see side. She had a valid point, and this is I'm about to get into a realm where I think men do need to be better how we explain this, because it's our inner thoughts. She had a valid point of telling him, hey, I wish you would tell me that I'm beautiful more, or that at least you're attracted to me more, whatever. Don't make me feel like, that you don't like me. I get what she's trying to say there. In his mind, in the man's mind, especially when you're with an attractive woman, you're with a fine girl, it doesn't compute for us because we're like, you already know you're attractive. You already know you're beautiful. Why do you need me to obsessively tell you you're beautiful all the time? That's weird. What's going on? That's how men think about that sometimes when we hear that, especially from a very attractive woman. Why do you already know you're fine? Why you need me to tell me you're fine all the time? What's going on here? Now, I will say, this is where men got to do a better job. Like, hey, yes, she's fine, but if she is locked into you, then you need to do a better job of making her feel secure within her decision to be locked into you. Hey, baby, you look beautiful today. Not just because her clothes look nice. You know, you need to say, hey, baby, you look beautiful today. Damn, you look real good. Something to make her feel that she's wanted. I have to give her bail on that. But again, I say it's weird to men. If when you with a fine chick, she knows she fine because she talk how fine she is. And yet she goes still trying to get you to get you to say, why don't you tell me I'm fine today? I have watched you say I am fine, I'm a bad bee 20 times today. What how am I adding to this? You already know you fine. You know, that's just the inside scoop for men thoughts. It doesn't compute as well. So I was glad they kind of had that conversation, at least about that, even though I don't think it was fully worked out, fleshed out, but at least they talked about it a little bit. Like, nah, I do think you're fine, but he basically say you already know you're beautiful. So it's like, well, why should I keep telling you that all the time? You already know.
That's the face of somebody who realizes that they partner don't think that they all that in a bag of
Exactly. He know that she
guys
don't like
know
him.
this.
He can tell that she's not feeling him like that. You can see it. We all knew it when we saw it. We saw it. Like, and that's still a question in his mind. I know you don't really like me like that, but why are you so locked on me now? What's going on? What is this? Is this real? Or is this for play?
Not necessarily.
I mean, we're all going to get fat one day anyway.
Stop it.
Like, if you told me that, I'd immediately look at you every day. Every time I'm like walking around the house, I'm looking at you to the side of your head like, you don't really think I'm all that. Like, something's up here. Yeah, he picked up on it, but she's incredibly insecure in it. And Miss Honey said so she needs to be more confident. No, she needs to be more reassured in herself. I think a lot of her validation comes from whoever she's dating. Like I said, my big theory is that she probably dated she done dated ballers before. Don't get it twisted. She done dated somebody. She done dated somebody at the Ohio State University or Penn State or one of them Big Ten schools. And I'm sure she done wrapped her whole life into that person. And as soon as that person cheated or did something or moved on, went to the NFL, NBA, whatever it may be, I don't know her sport of choice, her confidence and her essence kind of left with it. And so she doesn't really have an identity. I mean, even now, I don't really know who Brittany is, like how deep, like it could be just because of Devontae. I don't want to make it seem like he's not responsible for anything, but I don't even know who Brittany is. Like, I felt like let's just put a compare and contrast. Chris and Jessica, like I felt like I knew even more about Jessica, albeit that Chris wasn't really into her like that. Whereas with Brittany and Devontae, I don't know very much about Brittany. She hasn't really shown you who she is as a person. I think she needs to learn herself a little bit better before she, gets into a situation.
Minute now, we know she's on her celibacy journey, and we learned that that's almost about 2 years.
Was she?
That's what she said.
Shoot.
He also was on a celibacy journey. We didn't hear it come out his mouth, but he has said that after the fact. We also know he's a preacher's kid.
Those are the worst. Those are the worst. If we're gonna keep it a buck.
And he's asking to feel the goods, and she's allowing it. So both of these people need to be out of my face because they're playing us. They're playing us.
Shoes. She said as soon as she didn't get what she wanted, what did she do? She lobbed the cookie. She said, I said, he done got the ick already. But y'all will see. Like I said, we'll see next week. She gonna crash out, and y'all gonna understand. Y'all ain't gonna say much, but y'all gonna understand what we talking about. Because when she don't get what she wants, she gonna do the fool. Mm-hmm.
She already kind of threw one at the end of that little vacation they had. He had to talk to her about it. She all crying in his chest and stuff. I'm like, girl, okay, yeah.
Miss
We'll
Honey,
get a
you're
repeat of
thinking
that.
about Kia. Kia is the former
Yes.
Cavs cheerleader.
I'm
See,
telling you right now,
that proves your point. You don't even know much about. Nobody knows much about Britt.
she's a
She's
nurse.
Yeah, we don't know her backstory. We
Yeah,
don't
she's
know
a
a
nurse.
whole.
That's all we know.
that's all we
She
know.
works at I'll tell you one thing. I'm gonna say this just one statement. I'm gonna leave this. Yeah, I saw this statement earlier. I saw I asked the guy to say it. Bare minimum produces bare minimum. Okay. Leave it at that.
But they give us bare minimum because, as Easton says, it's going to be a crash out. They don't want you to feel sympathetic for the person ahead of time.
Mm-hmm. Y'all gonna
There
see.
may be a crash out at the wedding dress. Because think about it. We were played too with, well, we did know a little bit, but after the parts about Jackie with Marshall.
Yeah.
And we weren't prepared for Jackie to not go to the dress fitting and all of a sudden on a date with one of the other fellas.
Yeah.
So again, they're producing the show. They are producing an unscripted show, but it's being produced. So
it's viewed this way on purpose. It is viewed this way on purpose.
On purpose.
They want us to have certain thoughts about this couple until certain things happen.
Right.
Someone. Okay, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say y'all can come to our side here in a little bit. We'll just wait. We'll be vindicated. It happens every year.
Well, what also happens every year is Christmas. And thank you to both Connor and Bree and production. We now know how this is panning out. Connor still has his Christmas tree up. There's no judgment for those. I have an aunt. She covers it in a white sheet. Mind your business, okay? So we also know that JC is about to be risen. It's almost Easter. So it's April, okay? It is April and the Christmas tree is still up. We also find out there's a keg in the back. We like the fake Slytherins also on the stairs. It is a frat house. It also ain't really got a lock and bolt on the door. It just got a latch. Then this is where I got to push back on Bree. He ain't got no basement. So the man cave is in the garage. Now I'm going to need you, Connor, to put the walls up so that the insulation is not exposed. But I have no problem with you and your buddies being in the garage. That way it can close and I ain't got to see it, smell it, or hear it. What are your thoughts, Easton, on these two?
Bree, it's easy to say that Bree don't like that man. She ain't never liked that man. She wasn't attracted to him from the get-go, which is why she was still open to keeping communication line open with Chris, or at least like digging into him more in Mexico. But she don't like that man. She's not attracted to how he looks, which is interesting because to me they kind of look compatible. Like I said last week, she ain't Scarlett Johansson. It ain't like she over here how she talks down, and what she does is when women are in a like bad situation with somebody, they nag. Like if you can tell when she don't really like or respect them, how she nags and how she picks and prods at them. Every little thing can't be an issue. And if he was really smart, like he got a house, he doing something right. If you was I don't know how I was raised, if you pick the right person, you can turn a house into a home. I feel like she could, and maybe it's something that I see like is more common now than ever. It's like we want everything to be so perfect when we get there that we don't see the opportunity and potential and the resources and the materials you have to actually do something. Connor is a hardworking guy. He needs a little bit of confidence. Now I know he needs that because I don't like how he was downplaying his blue collar garbage job. No, my dude is doing well enough to have a really nice. I know how much his PC setup costs. His work computer. Now I ain't gonna lie, dirty, nasty, disgusting.
Yes.
But that PC, when he crossed the threshold. It was pristine, clean.
Yes.
I know how much that setup costs.
A lot.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot.
And I felt like if he was with another person who could see the potential in him, she could have been like, okay, well, this ain't all here, but I can come in and I can make this better. That's the hallmark of a phenomenal woman. She can take the trash that you got and make it way better. And that's just one area of what she can do to elevate your life, and hopefully you can elevate her life in many different ways as well. But Connor lacks the confidence, and Bree keeps nagging him, and even with the lock on the door, that was petty. You ain't got to do that. You ain't got to embarrass your man on national TV with the lock being there. But she had to make a point. She had to diminish his confidence and had to do that. Like he's doing. He on paper he's just a normal guy. He got a job. He's doing well for himself. He has a decent family. He's sevens across the board. But Bree, she's not attracted to him, and so this is why she's nagging him every little chance she gets, and why she's super interested in Chris.
And I want to keep in mind, y'all, even though Easton said that dreaded word potential, Connor is not coming from the bottom of the dumpsters that he is selling. Okay.
Right.
Connor is coming from, he owns that home. Okay. As you said, he is spending money on his setup, his computers and everything, just like that other dude that we saw in Denver. They will spend a ton of money on their toys, a ton of money on stuff, but a lady in their life can definitely, help them, organize and get that garage made into a proper man cave. Because that's what I would do. See, the dark Lord that is me.
You could have manipulated that man to get everything that you wanted.
That man cave would be tricked out that you and your friends don't ever come up in this house. Y'all stay to the driveway. And I would make sure everything in the house is all set up and done. And your workspace is all set up and well organized, but y'all can have that man cave. Don't be traipsing your feet across this threshold. But that's just me. Okay. That's just me. But I love to see his family. It seems like Bree would fit in with his family, but his family don't nitpick on him. But he seems very much like his dad, and she looks very much and acts like his mom and sisters, except they don't nitpick him. Dad also wanted to say, how much do I pay her to take him? Trey, why does this father want to pass his son off to this woman, this stranger?
He knows his son has the bones to be a good husband to somebody. He's just looking for somebody that should take him. This is all he's looking for. Please come in and take this boy and make something of him. And that's the only thing he's kind of lacking. It's weird. Bree is nauseating to me sometimes, right? You ever seen someone who talks so much that they can talk you out of an opinion or a thought? Like, you might feel some type of way about her, but she talks so daggone much and have you run around in circles so much that you don't allow you be like, you know what? Maybe I'm tripping a little bit. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Nah. I felt that when she was talking to his parents, she dominated the whole conversation. She did not leave room for them to ask her questions, if you notice. They asked one question to her, and she dominated the rest of the conversation. Completely dominated. So I was like, that's a very... I give it to you this way. It was masterfully done, and I'm going to make a parallel. Alex tried to do the same thing. He just couldn't do it with Ashley's dad. But he tried to do the same exact thing. Totally just dominate the conversation with talk. All talk, no substance. Really. All talk, no substance. You want to say something?
Bree's mom was given Gossip Girls. Yeah, and she really didn't speak up for Connor when speaking to her mom. And y'all keep in mind, Connor is the only one I'm seeing with any of these family visits bringing a gift.
Yeah.
Connor brought flowers for her mom. And even when he went home, he brought flowers for his own mom. Nobody else who had a home visit and meeting the family brought a gift. So that brought Connor up in my estimation as well. And y'all, yes, for those of you who do know the sanitation game, my grandfather's a retired sanitation and retired fire person. That's some good money.
Yeah.
Connor is not lacking. He
got
may
good
feel some kind of
benefits.
way because it's earned blue collar, but he should feel in no way anything but proud.
He has good benefits.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
That boy is.
And he only got to go in once a month. You know what I'm saying? I only got to go in the office once a month. You know, standard beat, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And she got to downplay him on that. Like, well, you know, I can work from home. I just got to go in once a month.
She was negging him the whole time. I was like, bruh, the fact that he only got to go in once a month means that he isn't like your everyday like garbage. Like he's doing all the back end stuff. So
that's not, and I know that's not what you're saying.
Yeah.
I know, but the guys who are working city sanitation,
are doing
government
really well.
sanitation, not private, but actual government sanitation, do not slouch on them and their benefits, especially if they started at 18.
At 18.
Yeah.
They can retire and go back
in.
to being sanitation and collect a salary and the retirement check. Do not sleep on these sanitation, government sanitation men. And for him, he doing corporate, he doing construction sanitation. He is delivering dumpsters.
Connor's 32. Yeah. Connor's 32 years old.
He can retire in about 3 years if he started at 18.
He's cruising. I'm telling you right now, he's cruising in life. That's all.
And if Bree was smart and actually liked him, she could see all this stuff and calculate and configure, and she would have just put a little spin on it, and she would have got that house together. She would have been like, I can see myself here. I can help get this little man cave together, clean up his little space. I would add my little stuff here, and we would have. I'm telling you, that's the perfect guy, because honestly, they have enough money or enough disposable income that they would do whatever, move heaven and earth, which is what he's doing for Bree, to make her happy and make the home feel comfortable. Like that's kind of just how we were wired. And so I just feel like she's missing the mark because she's not attracted to him, and because she wants somebody else, and she's overlooking all the great attributes. She's gonna waste a good one. She's gonna waste a good one.
Well, we don't know all the aspects of Connor. Okay, we see is cosmetic. It's not something that is a character flaw with Connor.
Oh no, there's one character flaw that I've noticed that she is sporting. That's probably a turn off for her. He said it nice. He needs a little bit more. He needs a little bit more confidence. I'm gonna tell you right now, she views it as weakness.
But you see, I just see it as Connor don't want to say it with his chest and come off as chauvinistic.
That's you. That's
you.
That's your opinion on it. How she's acting, she views it as weakness in him.
If I was being a little bit not politically correct, he probably needs a little bit more. Like a little bit more. He needs a little bit more Alex. He needs a little bit more Florida.
He needs a mojo.
He needs to be. He needs a little bit more of that. He's a little bit passive, and Bree is a bull in a china shop, and she's running him over. And Connor's like, I'm this great person. Just the fact that how he talks about his job should let you know where his mentality is. Because ain't no way I would have like. The lack of people buying homes nowadays, plus with my job, just the setup alone, I would have been like walking in there like, I got something to contribute. What do you bring to your table? Look at my setup. Because that was an immaculate setup. And how clean it was in comparison to his workstation. I just didn't like how she came into his house and was like negging him in his own
the Christmas tree, Connor, the Christmas tree, and the lock, Connor, the lock.
And she used all of her... She used all of her strength to try to prove a point. I said, man,
why you break this man going for? Like, what are you doing?
And she had to exert some dominance and show that he was weak in her. Like she had to embarrass him in his mode, and like in a place where he felt confident that it wasn't gonna break. She had to show him that, and that's what she did.
Yes.
Well, Chris is saying I'm too nice without saying it, like Edmund.
Bree likes a little toxic.
Yes.
She y'all men do. Toxic.
Y'all men do.
Nah, no. Mm-hmm. Most men like a little spice. Toxic is a different. That's something different.
At Chris's age, when y'all were Chris's age, when y'all were a little bit younger, I know y'all are closer to Chris's age.
I like
But
a little spice. Toxic, I could do without.
Yeah,
but how
toxic.
do you know? How do you know the difference between toxic and spice unless you taste it?
You need that experience.
You know
And none of these guys,
I'm
very
sorry,
few of these
listen.
guys have experience. I ain't
Uh-uh.
gonna lie to you. This
I
is
don't. Wait a minute. I got to challenge you on that. Hold on. I don't have to taste it. You know why? I'm an observer. I've always been a good observer. If I'm looking, if you can use these people as an example, I'm looking at Bree and I'm looking at Connor. We already said Connor's a little bit more of a passive man. You know, he probably needs someone to come in and give him a little bit of structure. You know what I'm saying? And put his life together. And he could probably make someone a great match. Here you got Bree. Issa just said, so she's a bull in a china shop. She can't even recognize the good bones that she has because she actually wants someone to challenge her or talk crazy to her. I'm going to use those words. Talk crazy to her in a certain type of manner to make her feel wanted, like i.e. Chris does. If I'm watching this, I'm looking at it. If I'm in the room, I'm sitting there looking at y'all. I'm like, why is she talking to this dude when we know he's a problem?
Because she's a problem.
Thank you. I'm not tasting that toxic. I'm not tasting it.
She's looking. We knew she was a problem. She's looking at a man that owns her home, owns his home, okay? And she's nitpicking the lock on the Christmas tree, which clearly something can be done about it today, versus her rental unit that her mama got set up for her before they arrived, because that was her place they met her mama at.
Yeah.
And this man just brought your mama flowers. Mm-hmm. And this is how you are speaking about this man to your mother. But I can't wait to meet Bree's daddy, because the way mama said, yeah, your daddy's a hard nut to crack. I'm thinking that's why they separated the two and didn't show it to the both, show us Ashley's dad and Bree's dad. It might be daddy overload.
I think the dad might actually like Connor.
He might.
I think he actually might like, because Connor honestly gives you, he's a lot safer option, and at least at the bare minimum, you know that he's going to take care of the things that he needs to take care of, and he probably that. I think that's probably more reassuring. I think he's going to be the one guy who actually doesn't, but Bree's not. Bree likes, is for her, it's a physical thing. It's a physical, like, looks. It needs to look good on paper. And
it's an
Connor don't look good on
physical, mental thing with Bree. It's an energy, physical, and mental thing. I hate to say it like that. You got to come to her like you own ish. You own this ish.
Right.
That's what she responds to.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she responded to Chris pump behind. Try not to curse. His pump behind. That's why she responded to him like she is, because he's actually, even though it's actually a falsehood, he's walking around like he the ish.
He is. Give me one moment. Welcome in to the new members. Ms. Honey, thank you. You are a member. We have messy member Mondays. Okay, 8 p.m. EST. That's where we get down with the get down. Look at the previous member Mondays. We had a good old time. And welcome, Christine Coronado. Christine has been here with us for a very long time. Thank you for being a member. Now we like to say thank you with dance. I'm a take it easy on Trey. Okay. And we're gonna let the birds jiggle a little bit. Yes, jiggle, let the birds jiggle. Okay. We love a good, dance around here. Okay. I know Easton, that was your first time seeing those.
First time
seeing those, first time for everything. But y'all, thank y'all. And again, the members act messy. I just provide a platform for them to be messy. I am demure and mindful. Okay. Just saying it.
Oh, no, we ain't doing all this. Nah, right. we ain't giving it up like that. You know you the queen of it. Okay, you ruling it, you pushing it. Nah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Nah. Don't judge me from the last member Monday, okay? We had a good old time about after Valentine's and before Valentine's. I have to figure out, what we're going to do this Monday. What we're going to do tomorrow. But is there anything else y'all want to say about Connor and Bree, or do we go to the main event?
I think
let's go to the main event because it's going to tie right back into them.
Yeah, because we're gonna have to throw Bree on into it. Bree and Connor back into it anyway.
Tie right back into them. Man, the setup is crazy.
Well, I do have a you said the setup is crazy. This is how I set it up. But anyway, the main event, ding 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 ding, Jessica and Chris. So this week, y'all, Chris tried to play in our face. Chris tried to play in our face. And here's what happened. He did. We went to his place, okay? We saw the koi pond on the balcony that is the dipping pool that he does his ice dips. Remember, he does triathlons and he loves, CrossFit, and he runs 10 miles a day. And then we visit Jessica's 4-bedroom house that's not 12 minutes from where he is in Columbus. Okay? And, everybody was asking, why does she have all those snakes there? Remember, she is a medical doctor. And I have to say, it's not for everybody, but many people in the medical profession who are doctors that I know of, because of the medical thing with the snakes on, the symbol, many of them gravitate towards that. Not all, but a lot of them. That's what it explained to me. And it seemed to me that Chris saw that her wallet or her bankroll was higher than his. So she was therefore taller than he is. And I think that got Chris thinking, I got to go.
Don't do this.
I think Chris said, I got to go. But here's the thing. I don't care what y'all say. I think he felt as small as he is when he saw her bankroll. But Chris don't understand. Chris don't understand as a doctor in the hospital that she is. She probably putting in more steps than he is on his 10-mile run. Okay? So, you know what, Trey, talk to me. Why is Chris showing his entire ass?
Trey knows it. Trey knows
it. I know. First of all, I know this ain't got nothing to do about money. Number one, okay. Number two, we was always dubious about Chris's involvement with her from the very beginning. Even after the reveal, we was already, I don't know if Chris actually liked her. Then number three, on the vacation, after him and Bree had that whole conversation, I just want to talk. Why nobody's talking to their asses? We should talk. We should have conversation. Why? All for her to flirt with him. And then for him to realize, you know what, mentally, we kind of actually match better. Because they do. Him and Bree does match better. Here's what it is. Number four, I'm going to just go ahead and say it. Listen. You ain't gonna like this, okay? Okay? You ain't gonna like it. Sometimes the box can be trash. It is what it is. Sometimes the D can be trash. It is what it is. Okay? He wasn't feeling her. He wasn't feeling it. I can't listen, I'm not gonna give him flack for that. If you're not feeling her physically, you're just not feeling her physically. Where I get on him about is this. Okay? You not feeling her physically is one thing. But you don't get the right to turn around and then tell this woman that, you know what, I feel like I would have a better connection with my number two. What?
But I still want to stay in this process with you.
No, that's a lot. Now, that was a lot. He only said that to get her riled up, to get her to leave.
No, I think he was trying to have a escape route. He was setting up his escape route.
That was the escape.
That was the escape route.
I agree with you, Absence. I think Chris is a taker, not a giver. But even if you say the box is trash, I think no, his giving.
Hold on. I'm gonna say, hold on now. Unless you know for sure, you can't make that statement. Are you telling us you know for sure?
I don't know. I don't know that man.
You can't make that statement.
But the selfish way he is talking about her, his credibility is gone.
No. All we know is this. When he was on that vacation, all the ladies were talking or whatever, Miss Jessica was well satisfied. She was like, oh yeah, it was good. It was great. That's what she said. Her own mouth, her own purpose.
Chris.
We didn't hear from how he felt about it until now. you know what? I just wasn't feeling it.
PNC.
And that's just real talk.
He had PNC.
What?
This is where I'll hold Chris accountable and I'll hold his feet to the fire. Is the fact that he's probably a very insecure and vain guy in that aspect. I don't like how he got drunk at the meetup and was talking outside of his neck about Jessica and talking around it. I wish he would have just cut it off from there. Like if he would have just not did that, not gone to the strip club, not acted a fool, and not say I don't give a flying F like a million times, I think there's something that could be salvageable from him doing that, because I'll bring up a little bit of history because I'm a Love is Blind historian. In season 2, we had Shake and Deepti. He said he wasn't physically attracted to her repeatedly, told other people, told the producers, and they forced him to the wedding day and allowed her to get her little speech off. Next season we had Bartice and Nancy admitted that he wasn't feeling a strong physical connection and openly compared her to Raven. We have JP and Taylor, the makeup guy, said her makeup at the reveal threw him off and affected his attraction. Somewhat direct, hid his unattractiveness behind something that she probably wasn't going to change. Chris and Jessica said she wasn't feeling the attraction and framed it around the lifestyle, the body compatibility, all that. And then we have it a couple seasons ago with Jimmy and Chelsea. Didn't say it outright at first, tried to grow into it, but everybody knew that he wasn't attracted to her. My big thing with this whole Chris and Jessica situation is that you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. There's no way that you can say or be not attracted to your partner, especially if it's a guy, and do so. There's nothing that you can do. You're doomed if you say that. You have to either bow out and not say anything completely and make up something else, but you can't tell him that you're not attracted to him and you don't find it. That's what it is. We saw it last.
But again,
there's a history of this.
There's a history. I wrote it all out.
Yes. But again, you do not bring up this other woman.
That's right.
I said he was. I prefaced it by saying I don't like how he said that. I'm just saying that if you aren't attracted to your partner, there is nothing. There is literally, and even the fact that we're comparing the body types of Jessica to Bree and everything like that, in his eyes, he finds one person maybe a little bit more attractive or more of his speed than another. That's his prerogative. The issue is that, yes, I'm holding 100. Yeah, what he said with her. I'm holding him 100. His feet to fire. Ladies, chat, anybody who's listening, it was wrong. How he talked to them about her in front of them girls. And even finding out that Bree and Priyanka and Ashley didn't say nothing, they dead wrong too. They trashed that as well. But I'm saying the original issue is that he's not attracted to Jessica. It wasn't the home. It wasn't anything like that. It was the fact that he's not attracted to her, and we're trying to minimize it to, oh, well, it's the home and he's insecure. He just isn't attracted to her, and he's a very vain guy, and he shouldn't be. He looks like a hobbit.
I'm gonna prove it right now. Because I've been seeing this. Y'all still they're trying to find every reason for him not to be attracted. Oh, it's the home, it's the house, he's intimidated. No, I'm gonna prove it to you right now. Just recently, Jessica did the interview to give you behind the scenes of what happened. This started before they saw each other homes. She said herself, when they came back from the vacation, he immediately went home and was gone for 2 days. Didn't even speak to her. She don't know what was going on with him, don't know what happened to him. He wouldn't talk to her. It wasn't until production got in contact with him. It was like, hey, we got to get the film out. You coming back? Then all of a sudden he popped back up. Wanted to film and hey, let's try to work this out. Do this and do this again or whatever. And then they went and saw the house and all that. He wasn't feeling her from Jump Street. And it showed up after they got back home.
We have had couples come back from the honeymoon and say this ain't it.
Yeah, he should have stayed gone.
How many times do you have to have a nut before you have clarity? I mean, it seems to me like Chris was trying to put himself up together to, I guess, grin and bear through it.
Yeah, and that's where I would get on him the most about. That was wrong.
You gotta own it.
You weren't feeling her. This is why I'm a big fan of not just dragging the people to the altar. You know you weren't feeling her, and his actions showed it. This man went home when they got back from vacation. Disappeared for 2 days at his own house.
Repeat that, Trey.
That tells me a whole lot. I said that's all I need to know.
They're not gonna listen to that.
He disappeared. They came home from the vacation. They came home. This is Jessica's word. What happened? She came home. All of a sudden, he said he told her, you know what? I feel like I need to get away for a while. This is too much for me. And he went home and disappeared for 2 days. 2 whole days. She didn't hear from him. She was trying to test him, trying to call him. He wouldn't answer back. It wasn't until production got in contact with him and then got in contact with her. Hey, we talked to him. He said he's willing to keep filming with you and go forward. Are you willing to do so? And she said herself, her first instinct was to say no. She should have went with her daggone first instinct. She should have went with her first instinct. Her first instinct was say no, but she decided to, to try it out to see what happened because she didn't know. And then we got what we saw on TV with these last few episodes. So his actions told Jump Street he wasn't feeling you.
Here's another diabolicalness of Chris. I believe when Chris met up with Connor, it was to test the waters to see if Connor and Bree were on shaky ground or not.
He was doing a man's test, but he don't even respect Connor. It was his problem. He don't respect Connor. No, nobody.
Because Bree don't respect Connor. Bree don't respect Connor.
Bree never set the boundary between it because, to be fair, that this is also a kind of like a little bit of a crash course of why, like, some dudes, like, how you represent me when I'm not there means so much to a lot of guys, because how even the fact that because again in the exit interviews, Chris messaged 2 people. He messaged Bree and he messaged another lady. The other girl went back and told Jessica what was said, and she was like, "Oh, you down? We cool." And Jessica hasn't told anybody who it was, but Bree never said anything to Jessica because she was plotting and scheming too.
Yes,
that gave Chris enough ammunition to let's test out the waters. I'm gonna try. And so if I know behind closed doors I can try you and you're not gonna be like against it and you're not gonna have a strong boundary or wall against it, oh, dude's gonna try you all day. And that's how you lose respect, and that's how he gets to talking outside of his neck about Connor, talking about this. That was diabolical. That was dirty macking 301.
I'm gonna tell you right now, listen, this is all Bree's fault. Let me tell you how. It started on that vacation. This is Bree's fault. This was her. She was the one that wanted to go through this whole song and dance of meeting the exes, want to have a conversation. For what? Connor was right. For what? Why you want to meet it? Why you want to meet him so this and that and third? Now we were preview to that. Connor wasn't. That whole meeting that happened to them. And there was flirting going back and forth for the both of them. There was flirting going back and forth between the both of them. So it burned me when they got to that mister. Bree tried to act stupid. And like, oh God, I don't understand why. When she told the ladies, Chris was texting me. Did you see this? And she said she was with Connor, and she did the player move. Showed Connor like, oh my God, see who's texting me? Ain't this crazy? Oh my God. No, she was covering her own behind because she don't want to get caught. She don't get caught with that message of him not knowing.
And Connor should have pulled up. Connor should have pulled up and been like, I don't.
But it's not in him. But it's not in him.
He ain't got that dog because he should have immediately set the tone.
And that's the problem with Bree. That's the problem with Bree that she has with Connor. It's not in him.
That was a man. To be fair, that was a man test. What she did.
Yes,
that was a man test.
That was a man test. He failed. Unfortunately,
he failed. He failed it miserably.
But he passed the friendship test because he gave his friend good advice on how to get his relationship back together. He just didn't know his friend didn't want his relationship back together.
All that is cap. You know what I tell you is cap? Connor knew from the very beginning that Chris ain't ish, and he knew it from the vacation. And it started when his own fiance was hard down, want to have a conversation with him. You remember we were talking about Connor Face during that whole situation? He was looking at her suspect. Like, this is sus.
Yes.
And he was looking at Chris. He was looking at Chris suspect. Like, this is sus.
He should have put it hard.
At that time, I'm going to give him some bail on this. At that time, he didn't really have much to go on. There really wasn't nothing that he could crash out on for real. There really is not. You know,
right. There was nothing. There was nothing.
He's
the
type of person I'm gonna need something a little more substantial to go on before I just go out on this.
He needed to trust that intuition. He needed to trust that intuition. Because he knew it. He knew what was going on. He was just looking, and I know his wheels were churning, but he just didn't act upon it. He should have been like, "Hey, I don't fool with him like messaging you, or even just the fact that you want to have these deep conversations. We're an engaged couple at this point. Like, what are we doing? We're on our honeymoon. Like, what are we doing here? And you over here engaging and involved, or even like fantasizing about chatting with your other connections. Connor should have stomped that out, but
no, it's not in him.
It's not in him.
Bree has 3 situations going on right now. Number 1, she doesn't want Connor like that. Never did. Number 2, she actually wants Chris. That's a fact. She wants him. That's more her speed. Everything. Number 3, which is the most important thing, she does care how this all looks. So she's trying to maneuver this in the situation to make sure she looks the best coming out of it.
But that's always the case.
If she can put Connor in the situation to make him leave her, that somewhat opens the door for Chris to move in, and it's okay for her to do so. Chris is going to get slaughtered no matter what.
No matter what.
It was quite interesting how quiet Bree was, and she was the one telling Chris he was being too loud.
Crazy.
Of all the people, she's the one telling.
Crazy.
And let me show y'all exactly what what Chris was saying
all
night long.
I don't live a flying F.
Yeah.
That boy was drunk.
Like what?
Another thing I was getting was that whoever his producer is, whoever his handler or producer is, there must be really close, or they can pull things out of Chris that most people can't, because all of his B-roll and side interviews and stuff like that, you got a lot of good information that I don't think that unless he was real cool with the handler or producer, you would have got. Because I'm like, why are you saying this right here, bro? Like, you really coming across, like, you were doing a good job of like coming across, even though you were a scumbag. Like, I could tell, like, everything's not all there, but you were doing a good job of trying to hide it. And then it just like fell to pieces, bruh. You talking about Connor, talking about the sex life thing, talking about Jessica. It just, and production was just pulling it out of him.
And I want to say this. When I say this is the main reason why I asked, was Vic and Christina there? Okay, hear me out on this. Okay, I can tell you right now, I've seen a little bit of this, but I can tell you right now, a lot of the women watching and in the room were waiting for the men to correct Chris themselves. Okay, I'm gonna tell you why it didn't happen. Number 1, the only 2 men that would actually stand up and say something to Chris is going to be Alex and Victor. Okay? Only them 2.
They're big dogs.
They're the only 2 big dogs actually.
In that hierarchy, they're the 2 big dogs, you can tell.
They're the only 2 big dogs with the confidence they actually do it. Okay? Number 1. And Chris is in 3rd place in that group. Let me tell you right now, the reason why Alex ain't going to do it, because if you notice, when Alex was standing there listening to Chris, he was shaking his head the whole time, like, bro, what are you doing? This is crazy.
He's like, just
stop. He was looking like, just stop.
I feel the same way.
You know why he ain't gonna say nothing? Because he an F-boy too. And that's how F-boys move. So he can't say nothing. He a little hypocritical. I'm gonna stay to the side. Now this is why I asked, was Victor there? Because if you notice, when Chris really was showing his behind, you don't see none of Victor and Christina.
Here's the thing. Why would I tell you to stop showing your behind when that takes the light off of me?
No. What I mean is, we saw a smidgen of this of Victor when he was in the pods. If you notice, especially when this whole thing happened with Kevon and the other ladies and all this stuff, Victor was the only one who actually speak up. Be like, oh, nah, that ain't right. Oh, no, I don't think you should do that. That don't seem right. This and that and third. He's the only one that would speak up. And the only one. And I think it was that's why I asked the question when Chris was popping off at the mouth, getting drunk, acting the fool. I didn't see none of Victor or Christina around anywhere. It almost felt like they left. Yeah. They left early or something.
Or maybe they hadn't arrived because production is not getting them to the venue.
That's true.
Something. This is why I asked the question. This is why I asked the question: was they there? Because the type of person Victor comes off as, he would have said something.
I think they came later because we did see the ladies, and it looked like, y'all know it's an edited show. It looked like it was later, and Christine was at the table when they were telling her what had happened. Okay, yeah, but somebody just said they probably weren't close to that area because everybody was kind of separated out a little bit in that room. Yeah, they did a good job in not letting us see a whole lot of people in the background. Because I could, just knowing me myself, I'm not the person just getting everybody's business, whatever. But I'm standing there, I could not allow Chris to be talking crazy like this. Yeah. I have to pull him to the side, like, hey, bro.
Even outside of just talking about Jessica and in an unflattering position, it's just the fact that you look crazy. And if we pod boys, I'm gonna at least try to make sure that you don't go out looking bad. I'm pulling you to the side. Like, hey, bro, you look crazy right now. You need to relax. And it's happened every season. It's happened every season where one dude is kind of like keeping everybody a little bit in check or like checking people on certain activities that they're doing. I don't know. It seemed weird, but like I said, this isn't trying to absolve Chris of any responsibility. First and foremost, how he talked to Jessica was disrespectful and disgusting. Crazy. Wild. Even just the fact that you're willing to share intimate moments like your sex life with people who don't need to be involved in that is just downright dirty. I'm saying we're saying the precursor to that is that it's not that she has a massive home or that she's a doctor and that he feels small and insecure. He's not feeling her. He's not attracted to her, and I think Bree is much more of his speed. And I think the pushback upon it is because in real life people are like, well, she's so accomplished and she's got all this stuff together. Why wouldn't you like her? But that's just the difference between guys and girls. It's not. We really ain't too pressed. Like he even said it. I don't care. Like when Amber was talking about you ain't gonna find another doctor. Like he's like, I don't really care. I'm not really. Don't care about it. He don't care about that. Don't care about it. Don't care at all. That's not condoning. That doesn't move. All of those attributes and accolades, they're cool, but they don't move men like that. That doesn't really move men like that. He likes Bree because Bree actually, their personalities actually do mesh well better together. They just do. They just do. And I'm not here to pass any judgment on anybody, but I always say people who don't look, the people who really on paper don't look like they need to be on Love is Blind. You have to wonder. Like when I look at Alex on paper, he don't look like he need to be on the show. Like you don't look like you have a hard time getting girls. So why are you on the show? He was recruited. And you see why. LinkedIn. Yeah, he was recruited. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. And you see, and I use that example for Jessica. On paper, I'm wondering like what's going on in your normal dating life because she's a pretty girl. She's on pretty. Paper, you're pretty. You got your doctor. You got a home. She's a doctor home. I'm like, I'll talk to him. Send him my way. Like, what's up? Send him my way. I'll see what to do with that. And she a liberal. She does the politics online. Now I ain't gonna lie. If the boss really is trash, oh God, that would be rough.
It's going to be rough.
But we acting like people ain't said that on Love Is Blind before. They've said that
I
plenty.
know.
They've said that time before. Oh,
They have
like
said it, but they have not said it and yelled it out loud in the mix.
Yeah, that was crazy.
no.
That
I'm
was
not saying
wild.
that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that this idea, like, we also have to be adults here and be like, well, the idea that you and somebody might not be sexually compatible is a real deal, and it
Thank
could
you.
be a deal breaker for some people.
But you
It's
see,
not what he
Easton,
said.
you see
It's how he said it.
Right, Easton, you see how respectful you said that? We just
Yes.
not physically compatible. That's
It's
fine.
not. It's not what he said. It's how he said it. It was crazy. I was shocked. I was at home. I was off. I was at home. So I was like, "Ooh, I can just watch some shows this week." Okay, boom. I'm watching it. I got my little notepad. I'm like, I'm taking notes now. Yeah, have a little drink. I'm like, mm-hmm. Then he said what he said. I really want to physical. I was like, I kind of feel that. I kind of felt that already. But when he said
I think that was just cherry on top.
When he said, I felt like, I would have a better physical compatibility with my number two, I went, wait a minute. I didn't hear that. I rewind it. I had to rewind it and listen again. Did I hear what he think he said? Bro, is you stupid? I'm yelling at the TV now. Bro, is you dumb? Why would you say that? And then I went, oh no, he is completely trying to sabotage the situation to make sure that she doesn't come back. He thinks it won't make it, because if you notice afterwards, he kept saying to the people, yeah, I was just being honest with her. She's the one that just left. Bro, she should have left. Did you hear what you said to her? That's crazy. That was just disrespectful.
Absolutely diabolical.
And
he wanted to humiliate her.
Yes. Yeah, it was crazy.
And that is why y'all are saying that, it was trash between the sheets. But here's the thing. There's when it's trash between the sheets, there's a way that people say it.
Yes.
It seemed to me that Chris wanted to drag her down and drag her through the mud. That's why I don't think it's only, or the priority is PNC, post-nut clarity.
No,
I'm thinking it's also that money.
No, I think it's two separate. We have to analyze this as two separate.
He's not a broke dude.
Chris is not a broke dude. Broke, but again, he sees his power through his dollar, because he said that to Bree. Do you want to bring that man to your daddy? Not a man with an account like mine?
No, I think we have to analyze both of these moments of when he's talking to Jessica as two separate and isolated things. I find it very telling that as soon as you get done and tell her that you're at a strip club and you make an account and you over here talking about you at a strip club and doing all these things, I find it as very erratic and something is off, or you feel extremely embarrassed and you trying to reclaim some of your power. There's something to that. The first time, I don't, like I said, even let's hypothetically speaking, we already know that he did do what he did at the beat up. But even if he didn't, he was going to get ran through the ringer, because how dare you say that Jessica isn't attractive enough? We've already seen time and time again that if any dude doesn't find their partner attractive, you're going to get killed. But it just adds it's a cherry on top that he did all of this extra stuff on the side. The fact of the matter is that Chris, at the reunion, I think he was so embarrassed, and all the girls liked him. It's like walking into the Lion's Den when everybody knows, Jessica done told everybody, Amber and the girls and came together and they done said, oh, Chris is an idiot and he's an F-boy and you can't trust him and da-da-da-da-da-da. And he's going into Lion's Den, and you got to know, the guys and the girls of each of they talked. So all the guys done told Chris, oh, nobody likes you. All the girls don't fool with you. And that's why he's rolling with, I'm drunk, I'm gonna have a good time regardless, and I don't give a flying F. And then he just went, then on top of that, he's gonna roll into trying to explain why he doesn't like Jessica. And in doing so, he did the dumbest thing he could do. He went into the intimacy. He went into talking about her in a way that makes her really, really vulnerable. Oh my God. Regardless, Chris is wrong. Dead wrong. But I don't think it's a home.
Chris trash, the trash that Connor need to take out, but also I don't know any woman from here on out that gets with Chris and sees this. You know you get what you get. Because this man will trash you in a room full of people and couldn't give a goddamn.
And
So
that's
again, any
gonna be
woman,
woman who's gonna do it.
Yeah,
there is a woman that's going to do it. That's why I'm saying
More than
any
one.
woman,
More than
any
one.
woman, including the one who did the interview as his ex, who said that he had some very radical racial stuff to say. And I'm like, but ma'am, you stayed with him.
You stay with
He
him.
dumped.
Yeah.
You said he
And you
dumped
mad
you.
he ghosted you. That
I'm
means he would have
side-eyeing
stayed.
you.
So miss me. Like I said before, all of this insecurity talk would have teeth if it wasn't for the fact that when they came back from the vacation, he tried to ghost her. Then he left.
13
He left.
hours.
Gone. 2 days. Was gone. No contact. Tried to ghost her. Then I'm telling you, y'all, the insecurity talk would have teeth if that wouldn't have happened. Because that happened first. This ain't about her money and her status.
Yeah.
I'm saying it didn't start off. I understand, Trey, and I get that the physicality wasn't there in Mexico, and he came back, but he decided to continue to film, and then he decided you didn't say anything to her. You didn't say anything to her till after the home visit, so that's why it looks suspect.
That's the only time you could say something. That's the perfect. It was the perfect time to say something. Actually. Well, you gonna say something beforehand? Nah.
No, it's after the 13 hours because you remember he went dark ghost for 13 hours prior to that, and then that's when Jessica said that they talked, and he said it behind closed doors, and then they had to record it and film it. So it's one of those things where he said kind of he said a little bit. It's like Joe and Madison last year, where Joe told her behind closed doors. Then they have to say it and record it and film it and stuff like that. Now, again, he is completely wrong.
Yeah.
Dirtbag. A-hole.
Flying a-hole.
Get him out of here.
Yeah, we're just
saying him out of here.
We knew I knew that it wasn't gonna work because he wouldn't find her attractive, and I don't want everybody to go on this whole theory that it was the home or the money or anything like that. It wasn't that. He just wasn't attracted to her. And
Easton, because he was leading to measure himself to Connor's money is why I think money matters to Chris, because he used that analogy as well to make him seem better than the other man. That doesn't tell me
compared to a man.
I understand, but he can use that same matrix to a woman as well. He thinks his money makes him better.
It's apples and oranges. I don't compare, like, one, I don't think you should compare people anyway, but I think for guys, the measuring stick isn't the same as if you were dating somebody who was a woman. I don't think he's going for career or tit for tat like that with Jessica.
But again, Easton, with these exes of Chris's that are coming out too, he keep laying on money. He keep talking about how much he has spent, how much money he has. That's the only reason why I'm saying his insecurity too leads with the money.
I think it's the height. I think it's the physicalness. I think that he likes, even though maybe the women in the chat and you, LC, might not rank Jessica and Bree. I think Jessica's more attractive. I'm not here to compare because I don't want to get in the game. Opinion. But for Chris, that's my opinion. But for Chris, he's in his cup of tea is Bree. I said that woman is orange.
It's Alex and Ashley. Ashley is a very pretty woman.
I don't think
we know Alex and don't really feel her like that because it's not his speed.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I think that Chris, has a little bit more affinity towards Bree. And again, everybody gonna be like, well, her body type ain't that much different, and she don't look like she do CrossFit. But to Chris, in his mind, because probably he's short, I think he's super short. Bree
Here's my question. Chris, here's how diabolical I knew Chris was. I mean, other than that. Yeah, I know the man ain't listening. That's okay. Here's where I found Chris real diabolical. You went and looked up Bree's dad. You went that far to
He
look
didn't have
up.
to look him up. She told him in the
No,
pod.
she told him that he didn't. Also, she told him that she didn't introduce Connor to the dad. That's why he knew that was
Yeah.
the sore spot. She gave him the plan. I said, oh,
But he also knew her
Chris,
dad was a very successful businessman,
yes,
knew what he valued.
pods.
It
Yeah,
wasn't all from the pods, but y'all, I could give
she
y'all
told
that.
him
But the
this.
fact that he would remember, even if it was the pods, even if he remembered and brought it up,
He trying to get her now.
that is again his measuring stick for himself.
And
It's
you,
his
and you know what?
money.
You know what? I go to them and say, yes, you're right. But you know, really, the real reason why he said it, because it's the measure stick for Bree as well. That's why he used it on her, because it would affect her too.
that's
That's
why
the only reason why.
That's why she kept picking at Connor, his blue collar job, his house,
Yeah.
nitpicking every little thing. Because they
It's
both
going
match
to
each other.
matter.
They're both
It's
vain.
going to matter.
They're both incredibly vain and incredibly their insecurity. They need to
Yes.
feel like they're walking in with somebody who looks the part. That's what
This-
most. I mean, I coached a CrossFit gym for 9 years. Most of the people are people who have gotten skinny, or who were big and got skinny, or were skinny and got some muscles. And so people are really, really insecure. And I think he just wanted
froze up.
You froze for a
walk
second,
into places
Easton.
and look the part. Oh,
Yes.
dang, I cut out.
No, you said you want to walk in places and look the part.
Yeah, look the part. I think that's what it is. I think they both have that same vanity metric for their significant other. It's not the money. It's how do I look? Do you look the part? Do we look like we can make this work?
Perception is everything for these types of people. It's the perception of it all. And it leads to the vainness of it. This is why with the first week we talked about this, that pod situation, all three of us said it was kind of strange that she went with Connor in the first place. Chris always seemed like the better match.
Cold plunge. They match on.
Even when Chris chose Jessica, it was kind of strange. It was like, I don't know, that seemed like those two were a little better match.
But they felt like it was a bromance. They felt that they were friend vibing.
Yeah, but it's because they didn't see each other.
But
as soon as they saw each other, oh no! Yes, get it.
But that's the testament of two broken people, or people who need to work on themselves. Because even Chris was saying that Jessica was somebody who he probably needs to. That's what he needs. That's what he needs in his life. Same thing with Bree. She needs Connor and her would have matched perfectly. But the problem is when you broken and when you still insecure and wounded, you're gonna go towards what's more relatable, what's more convenient. And they're convenient. They're two peas in a pod. They're two vain individuals. It needs to look right on paper. Imagine. Wait. Last thing I'll say.
Jessica won't work.
It's Bree. Oh, medium ugly. Chris is every bit of medium ugly, but in her eyes, again, you might find somebody in your eyes that isn't medium ugly. Bree and Chris, they have the same mentality. Oh, I think I'm God's gift to earth, and I need somebody who's gonna match that. And lo and behold, he's a hobbit, and I'm not gonna get on Bree because I don't want to get on women like that. But she ain't Scarlett Johansson.
I would just say I agree with y'all that but y'all men have y'all taste, and y'all did say Jessica is a fine woman. I mean, they talk about this Love is Blind, but granted, Love is Blind. I don't see anybody here that is on the ugly list. Okay, it may not be your type.
Yeah,
but I need Love is Blind to give us the
only issue with Jessica was if you're a man that was looking to have kids, you would have to 86 her. And she was honest about that from the very beginning. That was honestly, that's a main reason why that 86 stood for a lot of people.
She was even a little flexible because she said, well, maybe if you be a good dad. She was even kind of flexible when she was talking about it with Chris. So I was like, she's not bad. I it's unfortunate that she hasn't had a better opportunity, which is why a better dating history, or why there's a lot of amazing and phenomenal women that are still single, but I'm really interested why she would get on the show, because one, she's super accomplished, and two, I don't feel like she really needs to be on the show. Like I feel like she could get a matchmaker. She's more fitting for a matchmaker. They put her with somebody who's on her same level, and then they ride it out together. But Love
I
is
can
Blind.
tell you, Easton,
Ashley need a matchmaker.
I can tell you exactly why she's been having issues. She's only dated men in Columbus.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She's only dated men in Columbus. She's a local girl. She hasn't really been outside of it.
I'm sorry.
What?
And if you think about it, if you keep coming across some Chris's, think about what she is. She's an attractive lady, but she's a liberal. So she has certain views. They live in Columbus. That's going to I'm sorry, that's going to alienate you from a lot of people.
She's a doctor, and
so she's well accomplished. She's well accomplished. And I'm sorry, ladies, but you know what? This actually goes to the ladies' point, but I'm gonna use it as it's not a diss, but this is keep it real. Because she's well accomplished, a lot of men are gonna view her as, you know what, you're probably gonna be difficult to deal with because you're accomplished. Even though it's not the truth. Like I said, she's very liberal. She's very liberal. But
now,
it's gonna come with a certain perception.
I have an honorable mention. Okay? I have an honorable mention that I'd like us to nibble on and digest. Because my dark arts is telling me there is more to this story than meets the eye.
Priyanka. Yep. I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Pri and Alex. Is Pri the Chicago ex? And how is it that y'all held this back from production all through the pods? All through Mexico? Now production is asking you at the mixer? You know her? Yeah. Is it biblical? Easton.
I think that she is in the friend group. I think that I have to go off of what Alex has told me and how he's constructed his stories. And I believe that she is in the friend group. She might be best friends or homegirls with his ex, but I don't think that she is the girl of the thing, because he seemed a little worried, in a sense, not like it was my ex, but more like she knows my ex and can get back. Like
she knows some of the bodies. She knows
one of the bodies, and if this comes to the forefront, then this might, expose me, as well as this being at a very inopportune time, because Ashley has been asking him more about his exes in the past and all that stuff as of late. And so if Pri and her get close, then some of the stuff can come back and mess up what they got going on.
Could or could not, but what makes it worse, this is the same Chicago ex that him and his mother both said was no good. He put him actually, it goes back to Eastern point where he said way in the beginning. Yeah, but if you notice, the mom said she was no good. That she was a user. All she did was try to use him. When Alex talked about it, he did the yeah, but. Yeah, but. Because so it was a situation, he really liked her. He really liked her, yet he didn't realize how much he was getting played by her. That's what that situation was.
In his mind, that's the love that got away.
Yeah.
Because she does fit the aesthetic. She does fit the aesthetic.
Yeah.
Of what he said his preference is.
And I bet her friend is the exact aesthetic.
I bet she might be East Indian.
But why do we have to hide it? Because we're making sure she has the full experience. Really?
Well, we've seen that before. We saw that with
Lydia and Uche,
and it does tamper with your entire experience if you know somebody, and then you get to comparing. And honestly, Uche is so vindicated after all these years. It took a couple years.
I was about to get into it because I remember being in the comments and on the panels. I was like, yo, I think y'all playing with Uche. I believed him from Jump Street. I knew Lydia was a stalker. Y'all said the same thing about him then. Oh, he's insecure and stalker. Oh, no, he don't know he won't. No, No,
a narcissist.
Lydia was a stalker. She knew he was coming on that show, and she found her way to rope him behind the penny. Okay?
And Milton was the milk dud that just allowed it to happen to him.
Well, actually, yeah, you're right. He kind of Milton knew what was going on.
Milton knew what was going on, but he thought he could change the situation to make this a better thing. And I'm like, brother, you got the recipes all here laid out for you. You know what's going on, and what you want to do. I'm gonna just stick with it. He saw that. Like we could try to do this little couple stuff. I said Uche is vindicated after what 3-4 years.
Now they say that Priyanka is a recruiter. And since Alex is going looking for job to job to job, is she his recruiter?
Like a recruiter for HR recruiter?
Yeah.
Man, I don't think that's it. I really think that she's probably within the friend group of his Chicago life and probably his ex, because he didn't say that he lived in Chicago long. He was in Chicago long. I think it was just part of the friend group. Or he might have went on a date. I think the friend group could be code word for I went on a Hinge date, and something could have panned out from there.
Thank you, Tyra's World. I think Priyanka got the dirt on Alex with that whole Chicago ex.
Yeah, but I think the Chicago ex is. I think it's insecurity. I think it's a wound. I don't think that it's dirt.
Hold on. Let me challenge. It's only dirt if what Alex or his mother has said about her is actually a lie. True.
I don't think
exactly. This is another problem. Priyanka ain't told Ashley that she knew him from before the pods.
I don't know why we acting like
why are we acting like you have to tell every little bit?
Here's why you gotta tell every little bit, because we do not want to look like a fool on here, be made to look like a fool, like Lydia consoling Aaliyah, and knowing that man, you knew that man before the pods.
Yeah.
No, but the instance is that she dated homeboy. She was at that house. She was in his bed. It's a lot different than how what we're assuming with of her being a friend. Now, again, we can have these speculations. I think we're gonna have these speculations because everybody hates Alex, and that's cool. I just don't. From what I've been given so far with Alex is he's not lying. I think the Chicago thing is probably a very big wound for him because it seems like that might have been one of his first loves and stuff like that.
That was the big one.
That was the big one.
That was the big one.
And with the big one, he was
the but. She was the
but. You still licking your wounds from that recovery.
She was the but. You know, he was all in on that one. He was young, probably when he was younger. And, you know, that was the but. Yeah, but nah. She just did, but nah. So, mama, but nah. No, that was the but. You know what I'm saying? And he probably looked back on that, dang, I really got played in that. But it's partially my fault because I didn't open my eyes to the truth.
I mean, the way he said friend group.
Yeah.
I agree with Miss Honey. The way he said she part of the friend group.
That's his girlfriend's friend. That's what he's saying.
She knows who he dated, knows what. Listen.
Or friend with benefit. Is that the friend group we talking about? The friends with benefit group?
I don't think it was that either. Because you actually move different when it's a friend with benefits.
And we can be wrong.
She does fit the mold. She fits the aesthetic.
And usually most friend groups look alike. Okay? Most friend groups look alike.
Well, I don't know what's going on with my friend group, but we did show.
I said most. I didn't say all. But you usually find a commonality within the friend group.
And it's typically phenotypical.
Yeah. Usually if it's going to be 5 women, if you got a 5 women friend, that's right. If you got a 5 women friend group, 2 to 3 of them is going to be somewhat similar.
Yeah.
2 to 3 of them. And then you're going to have your outsiders.
I'm the odd man out, always.
Yeah. The men group is the same thing.
Yeah.
2 to 3 of them are kind of the same. Then you got your outsiders. Same thing.
To be salacious, I think, maybe, Alex and Pri has a history between the sheets.
Okay, hold on. Well, you know what? And if they did, so what? Now what?
My thing is, I don't care if they had it between the sheets. before the pods, even if it's a day before the pods. My thing is you kept this hidden the entire time.
I don't think
It's
so.
true.
She knows the ex.
That's it.
This is what I
I
think.
put it like this, and to Issa's point, if this was, come on, we know how Love Is Blind give it up, okay? If that was the real point, that would have came out in the pods.
In the pod.
But he said
Because they all gotta date each other. They all at least date each other once. And you trying to tell me you walk in the room with this person you know?
Same thing with
You
Uche and Lydia. We wouldn't know anything until they heard each other from on the other side of the pods. So
until Lydia said it.
And it was Lydia who said it. She went.
So you telling me that if they
that
didn't
was
know
the
about
suspect one. That was the suspect. That's what got the suspect.
Here's the thing. I think we talked before the pods, and you knew, and we had a game plan. So we gonna act like we don't know each other and put each other on the bottom of the list. But don't you dare mess this up for me.
No. Now let's be honest and for real. We're going into weeds here, and we putting 10 on 2. What we think or hope it can happen. We're going too far with this. All we know that there's some familiarity between them.
But Trey, why hide it till the mixer? The production didn't even know.
No,
so
they never seen
footage.
No, they've never seen each other. You got to think at the mixer is the first time that he's seen Pri.
Again, Priyanka is not a very
that's not a common
name.
That's not a common name.
Yeah, but I don't know.
If we would have met in the pod, you said my name is Priyanka. Okay, where you from? Oh, I'm originally from Chicago. And Taylor should have went up immediately.
No. But the thing is that he gave her a nickname in the pods, right? Didn't he? That was the thing, huh? It was Pri.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That was what I'm saying. And then he was like, "Oh, I think that he didn't know that it was her. I think that he saw her and was like, "Oh, she's one of my ex's friends." And then it was a big ordeal. I don't think that because he was like, because he asked it. He said, "Who is that?" And then at the whatchamacallit,
she never went by Priyanka in the pods that I can remember. The few times that we saw.
We only saw a few times, and we saw her close to the end. We saw her on engagement day, so she was one of those couples connected that they decided not to take to Mexico.
The doctor, the other dude, the doctor.
Maybe the doctor.
Okay.
We don't know though. We don't know who she was. She was doing. Thank y'all, thank y'all, L citizens, for being with me. I don't know because, and I agree with Easton. I am biased against Alex, but again, why are we waiting all the way till now? And even though she said I think because if we are in the friend group and I tell my friend group I'm going on Love Is Blind, you will know, and we will set up a whole. We ain't gonna disclose anything.
Now, all of this is important. That does depend on if you're still in contact with that said friend group from Chicago.
And I don't think he is because that dude's a nomad.
It doesn't seem like
he seems like he don't plant roots in with people, with his places or with people. And I'm thinking that ex did a number on him, and he ain't never recovered from that ever since. And so
thank
now,
you, Kyra's World. The voice, the details, somebody knew. And it will be even more diabolical if she went in as Pri. She knew that's Alex, and she intentionally made sure that he don't know nothing. Now all of a sudden I see you at the engagement party. Then she diabolical.
It might be her. I mean, I just have a hard time thinking that man over here just like. I'm willing to go out on a limb and put $2 on the line and say that this isn't his ex. I'll put $2. I think that she's really close with the ex, like best friends or besties, or hang out with everybody.
Both things could be true, Easton. She could be the best friend of the ex and been between the sheets with him. I mean, come on now,
baby. Could be. But like I said, from so far, Alex hasn't lied outside. And even when he did his little exit interview talking about the discussion with Brittany, he said that the question was completely different than what the editing was. And I was like, it kind of makes sense. Probably a lie, but what didn't make sense. I did my own research on his brokerage license, and they are expired. He did work at Merrill Lynch and for a bank in Canada. These are real facts that have been verified by yours truly. You can go to brokerscheck.com and you can see if he was a broker, and he was at Merrill Lynch and he was at ICB. Now, what he did, I ain't saying
we don't know, but he was licensed, and that is no slouch. If you are licensed You had to pass the statewide exam if you are licensed.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't begrudge anybody a license, but yes, Alex is smooth with the ladies. Now
The
I
only
got to
thing.
give.
Go ahead. Oh no, I was just saying, the only thing
No
that bothers
talk.
me
I
about
gotta
this
go
whole
get. I gotta go get that item for Eastern Talk Train.
Oh, the only thing that bothers me about this whole situation is the only thing that would bother me about the previous situation is okay, what happened in the pods? You got to explain that for me. That's the only thing that made me think like, wait a minute, if y'all know each other and they decided, let's be real, production ain't that stupid. Okay, y'all know each other and y'all decided not to reveal this until now. There's a reason for this. There's a reason for it. So my question goes all the way back to production.
All the way back to production. I got you. Easton, as promised. This is Amber's silhouette, y'all, before the reveal.
Why was she standing like that?
She said, I'm poking. She said, I'm trying to poke it out. That's what she tried to. She said, yeah.
She had nothing to poke out. I mean, it was nice silhouette, though. Nice silhouette, but it was like, what is she doing? I was like, what is she doing? Nobody can see you but us. So why are you doing that for us? I was confused. I was very confused. Like, what are you doing?
I had the photo, but I forgot to get it for Easton. Easton, again, I'm sorry, but here you are. This, y'all, was Amber. Exactly. She looks like Jessica Rabbit. She looks like a cartoon.
Hold on. First of all,
but you know what this is going to start? This is going to start.
She ain't no Jessica Rabbit.
I'm not saying she's Jessica Rabbit, but she's trying to do that. What I'm saying is it's going to start a whole new wave of people having silhouettes.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. I mean,
see,
the fact that
man can't do this. Yeah, Charlie's Angels. That's what it was giving me. I thought she was a Charlie's Angel.
Yeah, she was a Charlie's Angel.
You know, for the DeSoto case. You know? DeSoto case. Yeah, the DeSoto case. That's what she thought. She thought she was Demi Moore. She thinks she Demi Moore out here. That's what it is. For the DeSoto case. Like, come on. That's
right.
A good movie.
Posing
like
trend initiated.
I think this is what I think it is. This is what I think it is. With that, now I thought about it with Alex and Pri, and I know we were kind of tapering down. I think Pri is probably going to share with Ashley that Alex has probably been a lot more communication with that Chicago ex over the years. That's what it is.
That could be a thing.
That's why he's so spooked, because he's been playing it off as it ain't been that serious, or that he's been kind of like on his own doing his thing. But in reality, it's gonna probably showcase that he's a lot more wounded. He probably still more in contact with her than he liked to lead on, or he let on with, and that's probably gonna make Ashley more insecure, because obviously that's a little bit of a hole in his discussion or his story.
Yeah.
And
which I didn't get that either. What okay, why was she so okay? Oh yeah, I didn't bring this up earlier. It was bothering me that she was so hard trying to figure out the timeline of his dating history.
She's so insecure.
And then it clicked in my mind. I was like, okay, she's trying to find her own excuse to cut this off, because she doesn't have one yet.
Right.
She really
Other
doesn't
than the
have
water
one.
bottles.
Yeah. The only thing that she has said for herself that would make her cut things off is being cheated on or talking to a cheater. You know, because besides that, he's been totally honest and straight up with her. From her standpoint. From her standpoint. He's been honest and totally straight up with her.
Don't touch my water bottles. Don't trap me with a kid in Ohio. And I don't run red lights.
Even the water bottles were stupid. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I put the water bottles in the refrigerator. Why are you coming behind me and turning them a certain type of way? What were you doing? That's weird.
No, she moved them to the side, I think.
No, she said she turned each one, she turned the label a certain way for each one. Maybe
she has OCD.
That's cool, but that would be weird to me too. Like, what are you doing?
I don't care, as long as you don't move it someplace I can't see it.
I found that weird too. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah, we lost your camera, Mr. $2. Easton is in for $7. He had a $5 bet earlier. He has a $2 bet now. So
trying to get all your money, bro.
he trying
Right.
to save his money. So that's why the camera is out. Y'all, let's go through these couples. Okay. I'm gonna take y'all comments off the screen for a little bit. Christine and Victor, yes, no, or maybe?
Yes for me.
Yes for both?
Both.
Yeah. Yes for both.
Okay. Alex and Ashley.
Absolutely not.
Who's not? Or just not all around, no matter who?
It's going in flames before they even go down the aisle.
Yeah, I think they're gonna say. I think they're gonna make a silent agreement beforehand, but their story is too hot. Production gonna make them talk about it at the.
Well, we know she's going down the aisle because we see it in the previews. Her walking with her dad is who we saw.
Is she?
Yeah.
Oh no.
I think they're gonna get in a big discussion and argument. Ashley gonna learn from Priyanka about a little bit more of his past. She gonna feel uncertain, and we gonna know it's a no, but they gonna do the final final date, and then they're gonna walk down the aisle, say no. That's what it's gonna be, I think.
Yeah, they're both a no.
Amber Jordan.
I hope they say no, but they're gonna say yeah because Amber wants somebody, and Jordan is there, but she don't like him like that. They don't give it a try.
Oh my God. Okay. They both will say yes, but break up in 6 months.
Okay, so Trey is yes, and break up in 6 months. Now, I will warn you that the breakups usually happen. We know from UK and others that happens within 3 months. So by the reunion, they're still together?
No.
Yes?
No.
No. Okay. Okay. By reunion, done.
Done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not participating, y'all, because I have insider scoop. That's why I'm not telling y'all what I'm saying.
Okay.
Connor and Bree.
Absolutely not. This is about as certain as I am.
Trey,
yes or no? Are we even making it to the altar?
I think Connor is going to surprise us. I'm going to limit this. I think Connor's going to surprise us. All of a sudden, go a back row and kick her out.
Get out.
Okay. Well, we know Chris and Jessica are no longer on the program. So Emma and Mike.
Oh, this is a hard one.
Hopefully a no, but I think that they're not going to get any issues up until these last couple episodes. But at the altar, I think that Emma, she says no. I think she says no.
I think it should be a no, but Emma is going to say yes. Mike is going to say no because of the uncertainty for the kids.
Okay. Emma is yes, but Mike is no. Okay. Brittany and Devontae, are we making it to the altar?
From the previews, I would say no. I mean, I hope not. I mean,
I don't know. They're a toss-up. There's a toss-up for real.
They're the one that you don't know the most about because you're like, I can see Brittany like dragging this dead carcass onto the wedding day and just like, hey, let's try this thing on. And Devo's like, I thought you would be gone 2 days before this, and so maybe they'll make it to the altar, and if they do, Brittany would probably say yes, and then Devo would probably say no.
Something is going to happen after the dressing. What do you call it?
The dress fitting.
The fitting.
Yeah.
Something is going to happen.
Do the fool. That's when she's gonna do the fool. Fitting. Yeah, that's when she's gonna do the fool.
Y'all put her in the same frame as Jackie. What happens around the dress fitting?
Something is going to happen.
Okay.
After that fitting, something's going to happen.
So according to y'all, it's Christina and Victor and Amber and Jordan are our only hopes.
Yep.
Okay. The couple
really
that
is
they
only
ain't filming and the couple that they are filming.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, I have it written down. I don't know how much Easton got on it, but he already $7 in. Don't
Seven.
answer that, Easton. I'm just playing with you. But
Right.
y'all, this week is going to be the weddings. Okay, y'all know what happens with my recaps when it's the weddings. I wear the veil.
Oh God.
Also, this week is Married at First Sight Australia. We have more weddings, 3 more weddings. The veil will be out again. But y'all, Trey, Easton, I thank y'all for being here and covering these 3 episodes. We're at the 3-hour mark. I ain't trying to get like Kojo, but we had a lot to cover.
We did. This was a big week.
Easton, you want to let us know your final thoughts?
My final thoughts are: this is again one of the better seasons. We're not hit with a bunch of mess and trauma dumping, but we're actually getting like real applicable problems within a relationship and seeing how adults are trying to handle it, especially under the guise that this is an experiment. This isn't a full marriage, so I don't hold them to the same standard or anything like that. I'm very big on saying this is a social experiment, and I'm thankful for the chat and for Trey and El Cid for providing a platform to chat about this. But yeah, it's a really great season overall.
Trey?
Listen, everybody thought Ohio was gonna be a snoo fest, didn't we? Like Ohio, what? But it's been, wow, dang, Sean, wow. Yeah,
It's
I get
not a
Sean.
trash season. It's not horrible. That's Sean.
You know what? I think Sean always like a bit more drama in his team than he likes
Toxicity.
Yeah, a lot of that. But personal opinion. But no, it's been a pretty good season. It's been interesting. I do appreciate the fact of trying to give us more couples that look like it could go further, even though I think it's still mishandling the whole situation. But at least there's some attempt there. So, we'll see what happens on these weddings. And it's always a pleasure talking to you two, Easton, Miss Elson, and we'll see each other again.
We definitely gonna see each other again. And tomorrow night is Messy Member Monday, y'all, 8 p.m. EST. Wednesdays, Trey and I cover A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. If you're wondering how it fits into the Game of Thrones lore, how it fits in with the Dance of the Dragons, please. And I have a new intro I'm going to try and let y'all see. Members, I'll probably show it to y'all first, okay? Okay,
Get up,
members?
sir. Get up. Get up, sir.
Get up.
Wait.
I'm just
Have
saying.
y'all tried that alarm out? I tried that alarm out. It was funny.
I'm not trying that alarm. I'm not
tried
downloading that alarm.
It was really
not at
funny.
all. I don't need somebody yelling at me to wake up. Okay? And just for you, Frito's paw, just for you, because I know you like to hear it. Christina, we have a Christine on this show, okay? Only because you always ask for it, Frito's paw. But y'all, thank y'all so much. Thank you, Easton. Thank you, Trey. Thank you all for hitting that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Thank you for always supporting. For those of you who have given, we have new members tonight. Christine Coronado, Ms. Honey, Munira gave 10 L Citizen memberships, and Ari gave us her member milestone and contributed to the channel. So, we always got to say thank you in dance. So we dropping it low. Okay, we dropping it low. Sorry, Trey, I didn't give you a heads up, but you can handle it. But thank you all so much. Have a good night, and we will see you here next week. And as I always say, I'll see you on the next one.